composition, they really have a lot more kind of adaptability than with the comps when teams are playing without the Harbor. Without the Hammer, or without the double controller in general, most teams are, it's just an A-hit simulator. You go there always, sometimes you throw in a B-hit, you have to fight
अचानक
deep,
से Windows 10 आ जाता है.
It's so different
PC run into problem. ऐसा करके
the variety they have.
Well, let's go to the aim lab shoot around real fast. We'll check in with Chichu and we'll continue the conversation regarding EDG. You know, something that I thought I would never see as I'm looking through the stats, you know, because obviously we're looking at Chichu here, but Kong, 4 frags total. Like the whole map, which is like heartbreaking because
shut down completely.
And you would see him on screen here and there.
अरे अचानक से क्या हो गया? बंद हो गया. विंडोज का ब्लू स्क्रीन आ गया. वेलकम टू विंडोज 10 गाइस. वेलकम टू विंडोज 10. भाई विंडोज 7 अच्छा था यार. बहुत बेस्ट था. क्या स्टेबल था. ऐसा कुछ करो ना, विंडोज 10 को भी कर दो यार. विंडोज 10 को कर दो बूम बाम. कोई बात नहीं. अब focus on a game.
Rumble as a whole was that QCK was diffing Kong. He's the guy we were saying needed to step up, needed to be great on the jet. We hadn't seen him at his peak yet. And he was out there, he was being set up beautifully, and he was dominating Kong in the opening kills. But you're right, Bea. We've hit a reset point, we've gone into sunset, but man, am I worried about EDG. It's so hard to reset. Not just, you know, sometimes you lose a match, you can wipe it away. But this is now 2 maps in a row where it's been the same story.
मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ?
Probably they run out of fuel maybe too soon in the tournament. We were talking about, is Loud top notch right now? Are they going to be, you know, are they really up there to be the winners of the tournament? EDG right now is not looking like a fair opponent to them, because Loud, after what they did yesterday on Sunset, how good they were feeling, how everything was falling onto place, a 13-5 against FPX, where FPX were having crazy rounds. I think that Live and Ultim were final bosses. For this one, things are getting even harder for EDG.
Yeah, very much out of hand here. Here comes the agent select, and you know we're getting ready here for some sunset. You're going to see QCK. He's going to be rocking that Phoenix. He's going to get right in the face of his opponents as much as he can.
Yeah, the biggest goals of Loud's comp on the defense is extremity control. With that breach, with their multitude of flashes, they're really good at holding down space in the mains, in fighting forward against EDG. They don't have that same initiator power to fight back in. So for EDG, I think this attack side is about getting mid control, baiting out util, don't late round hits if they want to win. But that's all out the window. This is a map about confidence. EDG need to remember who they are. They're the team who's been dominating in China, who comes international gameplay and beats the best of them. It's absolutely unacceptable for them to go out with a whimper. This team needs to remember why they're great.
And watch out, because Loud might have the read onto them. We know that EDG likes to play it slow, likes to play it with time, but Loud, with this composition and with that first map that they gave us, they want to take it all and make it into playoffs.
Is this how it ends for EDG? Will Loud push forward into the playoffs? Let's find out. Send it right back over to Mitch and Tom.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy, and our wonderful analyst desk, Tom. As we move into this next one, you know, I pity our analysts for having to look at that last one and break it down, because it's tough to be nice to EDG after that. It was a really, really rough showing on their map pick, but the promise, good on their opponent's map picks. Tom, you opened up the series by saying that.
We now have to do what EDG did, forget that ever happened, and move straight on. And Loud, they run quite an explosive comp, kicking it off on this defensive side. You could expect pressure. And basically, EDG have to forget that has been a rough performance. Boombot gone, shock dart counted. Now going to be looking for the split straight through into mid. And still though, there are plenty of players from Loud around these angles. QCK already, as said, was looking good on the last map, looking to try and take control. And it's Less and Howdong with the first couple, but Loud have come out on top.
Still a bit of a struggle to get in towards B main, and Spike dropped everybody, split up.
Got it.
He's fired off to find Kalanzine the first, but a double peek quickly secures the round for Loud. And that's another pistol underneath Loud's control. All 3 so far have gone to them. And for EDG, it's going to be a minute before they can heat back up. They're down to pistols.
Yeah, I think it would have been nice for them just to get off to a good start on this map. Try and, as said, forget what happened. But the fact is, It's always difficult when Loud play the way they do. Like, I feel like there's going to have to be real dedication to just being wary of where QCK is going to be, because he could be everywhere. Like, the fact is, he is going to pressure all over the map. He's going to have supportive utility from Cow and Zine at times. He's also going to be looking to farm up those ult orbs, because it really does help with the aggression.
Out on, guys, out on.
So I feel like EDG are going to have to play their defaults well, and in the last round particularly, losing B main like that and having no way in, that was definitely a problem.
Immediate spams through the smoke. Well, Howdong's definitely got the shorter.
Howdong को ऐसे ही पड़ गई भाई पीच क्यों ले रहा है
a
brother
little bit and Tui's is down. Okay, EDG, they've got a little bit of punch packed in this one. For the defensive side, they've lost full mid control. So it's time to go walkabouts. A side is under threat from behind, so they're going to secure the front. QCK's already made it past, but the timing is key, and he's picked his angle. Picked the right angle indeed, although the shots don't land. The flash in hand, it almost cost him his life, but the timing was good. With Howdong down, the heal can be found by QCK, and he's out of there, actually. He's just going to give up the control entirely.
Yeah, not wanting to try and stick around versus the pistols.
उनको पता है उसने सिर्फ फेक किया कि वो हील कर रहा है.
Under the control of their opponents.
दिमाग.
They don't really have the cipher that we've seen from many others, from Chichu on the other side, that gives them that extra bit of information. We've seen a lot of teams really utilize
right close
this map. Lesto executing Kankan. He was one of the major dangers. Look at the rest of the weaponry that's available for EDG. It definitely isn't pretty.
Take flight.
Even an extra kill or two, though, in this post-plant could be huge.
Well, this is it, especially with the plant spot, right? Like, this is all about spamming. The downside is two classics. Not really going to have the best at times. Nobody know where to go. Found an angle eventually and a kill. But Chichu on another. Now there's a real chance for damage. Shock dart close, and the spray doesn't land. Kawanzin's now the last man standing. He might not even be able to win this anymore. If he does, it's going to be at a heavy, heavy cost, and he's out.
Fair play. That was a point I had absolutely no belief in the fact that EDG would be able to take that.
Point.
Already getting themselves a MasterCard Thrifty, and that's going to be a huge boost to the confidence. Some great individual ability there, but also just the goal to just sit in a snake bite and then peek after the two pulses. That's one of the few moments you're going to see aftershock, like the changes that they made to it from 3 pulses to 2, actually making a major difference, because otherwise he is dead.
One enemy remaining.
Just about made it out with his life. Hit the shots. And even with the shock darts finding them, a player swinging who's got a fully auto rifle when you're so low, just didn't matter. EDG have got their early start. This is what we wanted to see. I thought we weren't seeing it with the pistol. The smile on my face. As Loud now have the weaker weapons, and EDG will face off against them with confidence. Kankan straight around that angle, and Les, one of the major dangers, is already being dropped. Both rifles that Loud have are now on the floor.
This is a confident looking Kankan. Was already looking dangerously missing in the last map, and he did have a rough performance the last time they played Sunset as well versus Paybrek, so I was a little bit worried, but the fact is this round decimating less. Tui's now, again, it's about getting a kill, getting anything, make things more costly. They know exactly where he is. Now, not shooting it might bait the idea that he's round the corner, but Kankan is making sure
भाई ये मार रहा है जैसे नहीं मार रहा था स्प्लिट में वैसे ही मार रहा है भाई ये जिंदा हो गया है मेरे को लग रहा है.
Well, they lost the pistol. They're 2-1 up, and they've got a showstopper on Kankan, a player that was, as you said, just completely missing on the previous map. A player that is really the reason that people are believing in this squad being able to pull it across the line, because he's been so strong this tournament. And I was terrified. If he didn't show up here, the game was already over. But very early on, we found out that he's here to play, and round number 4 is going to see a full buy for both squads. Run it back online.
Okay, he's insta-pop the showstopper. Again, this just has to be a moment for Loud where they just give up the site. Almost played straight into the retake. He's garnered quite a bit of space, but because he's gone the direction of elbow, they actually haven't managed to get into an after-plant position off of the back of this. And maybe almost trying to sell the idea that this was a ruse. I like this from EDG. They're now breaking the door, and I feel like this is putting in some real hesitation in the side of Loud. Like, they're clearing things out. They've seen absolutely nothing on A after your opponent bursts a showstopper into the elbow. This must be a peculiar round for them. And now just patiently waiting. Timing going to be everything. I think Sadak caught a glimpse, though.
You saw one, he might have seen two. Decent shock dart as well, some damage done. EDG on their way through though. They will make the A play. QCK securing mid and now looking to move forward. This is where I expect a run it back, and indeed it's already popped. He's on his way through. Peak is good for some damage. QCK focused on the site, gets dropped eventually, but he's back in the fight now. Alongside Kawanzin, who's just burned up all his util. You know, that flash didn't manage to root anyone out of position, but the molly certainly has. They're all low and, well, sat around the same position, just nobody who's up on full. He's the first to swing, post on the wide angle, and find quite a bit of control for himself. The plant still to be secured with 15 seconds. They need to find a safe haven to get that done, and it's the corner up close. Nobody has to hold strong, and with him down, the round is already done. You'd imagine. Come on, there we go.
Yeah, I saw Sadak on 1 HP, and there was a moment that maybe there was some belief, but yeah, a very odd round. Like, I don't mind the ideas from EDG. Like the start, I think that was the game point, because they take so much control with the showstopper. Okay, that's fine. Then they pause, which I definitely think puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents. But then they don't really take that space, and they take so long to get into an afterplant position and lose the battles in mid. That was one of the major detriments to the round, was that you already saw Loud having such a large advantage that, okay, I think nobody ends up doing quite well to at least make that one look competitive.
Guys, अगर मैं बीच-बीच में कुछ नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, इसका मतलब मैं प्रोसेस कर रहा हूँ सारी चीजें. थोड़ा नोट कर रहा हूँ.
Plenty of cash available.
Yeah, there's no struggles.
No
struggles whatsoever. But the side of EDG, even Hunter's Fury online to work with. Something to fall back on. Close to getting a null command as well.
Revealing area.
Tui's, well,
Cypher.
his by the end of the round. We'll see. Round 5 starts off with a spray, and Con getting put in his place by Kawanzin. As we saw, that was just blind fire straight through the smoke, but an angle that's going to be very frequently spammed.
Kawanzin ने पेल दिया उसको. ठीक है.
Again, now Loud are able to fall back into these more passive positions.
भाई ये स्मोक आपने देखा होगा हर एक मैच में होता है ये. रैंक मैच में भी हो रहा है यार ये तो.
Offer this, call for some rotations.
हो गए obvious बात.
You can see Loud are starting to group up together to potentially make a play back into mid. Now this is being watched by Smoggy, and because of that they are just going to have to fall back. Chichu potentially wanting to try and find some sort of trade, but in the meantime they have again completely given up this A site. But as we've already witnessed, Loud are very happy to go for the retake.
Might be one player shy.
Chichu was
patient. An angle that
यहाँ तो कोई ना कोई तो गेम करता
है.
उस बार वो कान कर रहा था, इस बार चीचू कर रहा है. और यही भी खेल रहा है. लड़कर साला.
Even allow EDG to get into position on the post plants. Although Chichu might not be there to help him out, I don't think he's expecting QCK to be quite that close.
Very good.
And we'll take him out of the retake for a while. Buy some time for the squad of EDG to bunker down. They don't know where these players from the side of Loud are. I mean, again, QCK is on the other side of the universe.
The paranoia could be perfect.
They've gambled it the right way, but there's no one to follow up on it. There's no one there. QCK is caught. Okay, Howdong's in a good position, only the one to be found. They know where Smoggy is, so they're holding the angle. Clean as can be. Nobody, though, still holding strong. He sees the shoulder, but he can't get the arrow off. Or the bullets either. Couldn't decide. 3 rounds for Loud.
ब्रिज का अल्ट गया.
They've been good in these retakes. I thought for a moment
अल्ट किया वो बाहर निकल के मार दिया बूम बम.
Like it could catch all 3 players as they went for the retake, but
W guys,
wasn't quite placed out. Well, it was placed well, but there wasn't anybody to actually capitalize off it. And then in the end, it just came down to some slightly shaky fights. The Hunter's Fury as well, close to being devastating, but close is not going to win you these rounds. Still though, EDG are going to be able to bounce back once again. They still have the finances available to invest in this round. And the A site, they've been able to get into the post plants. I actually think a lot of their problems right now is the fact that they are trying to play the map so much. I think they've been given quite a lot of opportunities on A. They always have a deficit by the time they get there.
You know, when you think about how those retakes were established for Loud, 30 seconds before Spike goes down, you have players being dropped, you have QCK miles out of position, even caught on the rotate as well.
हेलीकॉप्टर हो चुका है guys.
Despite that, they're still able to get a good stranglehold over the side. You can see why they're confident on the retake game. Now EDG, this time focus on B, but there's a flank watch from Chichu. He's caught 2 players pushing up, but I don't know that he has a way out this time. Stun was good, and they're closing the distance.
Yes, I
The
think,
Phoenix
guys.
Flash
Like
zoomed
a
around the
sorry.
corner, and Chichu's in so much trouble. But in the meantime, the spike's being planted, so Loud again have to
कौन
go for the
किधर से कहाँ
retake.
गया,
As
वो
we
थोड़ा
said,
देख लो.
they're pretty happy with that.
Yeah, they've done really well to isolate the flank every single time. Chichu hasn't managed to really get anything. And now it's up to the heroes on the other side to try and hold this one down. QCK off to a flyer. Khan waiting on the corner, looks away, still
Woo!
manages to snap back. But again,
Reflex
it
है भाई
comes
का,
down to
reflex है.
one. Nobody already spawning the first. Just looking to try and wrap back around into that 1v1. The dart should reveal the player on the spike, knows exactly where Sadak is.
सुबह से सुबह.
Try and tap that, it's gonna come down to one.
Let's go.
And Sadak is a safe pair of hands once again. Loud will convert a 4th round into their favor. And for EDG, it's close, but no cigar.
Sadek's
भाई.
been leading by example in so many of these rounds. Big one for him to close out. This should be
Player
giving
तो है.
them a pretty
Player
good
तो है.
lead. Because I expect EDG to take a much lighter buy.
भाई यहाँ पे
Maybe
इसने
some serious
दो मारा ना
deficits for
रिफ्लेक्स
them.
मस्त है इसका.
On the way back in, we're seeing
देखो.
again and again that
फट
this
से आ गया
squad,
रिफ्लेक्स से भेज
when they
दूंगा
have
ब्रो.
disadvantages, they're able to fight their way through. With the advantages, it got close this time.
Okay.
They're still winning those clutches, and that's all they need.
बैठ के
And the
खेलो,
weakness
बैठ
is
के
actually
खेलो.
not that apparent on the side of EDG. They're going for all light shields, which is allowing them 4 rifles to play with. So still some very good potential to this.
जल्दी जल्दी लाउड को बोलो जीत जाओ यार, क्या कर रहे हो चिंगचुंग टीम के सामने. फिर पेपर एक्स को बुलाओ यार.
You look at the ults, that's the major deficit that they have already, getting the run it back online. Hunter's Fury, again, they look perfectly set up if they end up in a retake.
हेलीकॉप्टर है.
And that's what Loud have been playing for in these rounds. Good start though, getting rid of cows
भाई
and also
ये-
getting rid of a boatload of utility.
नहीं चलेगा.
EDG
नहीं
are
चलेगा.
not going to just
ब्रीथ.
run off
काउंट
the
इन.
back of that
नहीं
entry. You
चलेगा.
can see a fast rotation in from Sadak.
मस्ती नहीं बेटा.
Instead, they're looking to fall back to the other side of the map.
I know exactly where you
I mean, we've seen this a couple of times from EDG. Now with a little bit more information to play with, they're still seeing that these positions are being held, and Loud previously pushed up on A to try to seize this space. That's not the play this time.
सारे
That's
लोग
red
भी आ
on
रहे
the
हैं बहुत
other side.
बेहतर
Chichu
तरीके से.
sees
सुबह
that,
का यहाँ
wants to
पे
take the space for himself. A very late flank.
फुल
35
स्पॉटेड कर लिया
seconds
गया है
left on the clock
सबको.
while he's creeping up elbow. We see the B site under heavy threat. Last in the corner. He hasn't been pushed out of it, but now he's being spotted. This could spell danger.
Oh.
Nobody being tracked.
अरे
He's down low. So is
बच गया रे
Howdong.
वो.
Everybody, in fact, has seen their fair share of combat. Howdong, though, wants to take down Les. Forced forward.
Woo.
And Tui's was waiting. A quick
देख रहे हो?
double for him.
कवर,
A triple,
कवर.
in fact. And it looks like it's all sealed. QCK
टिक
even
टुक
popped
से मार दे,
the
टिक
ulti as
टुक से मार दे
well.
ब्रो.
He's running it back. Taking down Smuggy. We'll show him
Alt,
a
alt.
for 5-2.
Yeah, they look like they're right back in the driver's seat. A shaky start to this map for Loud, but 4 rounds in a row once again. They have just looked
भाई
superior
लास्ट में तो
so
कुछ
far
ज्यादा
throughout
नहीं
this
मार दिया था
map.
आइस बॉक्स में.
The funny thing is, on the entry, you watch both players at the back of site have all of their
ये वाइपर को
utility
कवर मिला
taken away.
नेक्स्ट लेवल
The
पे.
second it comes
Next
back online,
level.
the snake bites are perfect. The counter utility, the smoke
Point, तू clear है, तू
just
clear है,
making
मैं मानता हूँ
things
तू
so much
clear है.
more awkward. And then also you just have Tui's just pop in anyone's head that even looks at him for a second.
Well, I think that's also part of it. You have Les in the corner firing with his rifle, letting them know he's there. He throws the snake bite, player gets
Mid से
close.
सारे बंदे
And as soon
जाते
as
हुए.
the second one's fired,
Brother,
he's running at him.
let's go.
Punish him.
चल स्मोगी
Oh,
काल.
Not able to.
उन लोगों ने
Tui's is
दिया.
there, quick shut
Woo.
down to this
W
round.
का
with
दे इन
3
लोगों ने.
fast kills. QCK right down on mid. And so
उनको
is the
पता है कि
whole
ये वो
force
वाला.
of Loud. You know, 4
ये तो
player
save
mid
पे,
push with a
save पे.
Phoenix leading charge. It's not easy to deal with that.
Chichu is saving.
Chichu's the
Just I
last
got
man
B, guys.
alive. Yeah.
Guys, I've got B.
Saving B.
B is clear.
Going
They
mid.
kept their credits for the next round.
Cameraman
Tom,
Cypher.
I think they're pretty thankful for that now.
Yeah. He
इसको फेल दो
had
मैं तो बोलता हूँ.
one hero rifle to try and do some damage. And
चीचू को फेल दो.
the worst thing is that I feel like they've already made the realization that he must have pushed through behind them. Nice shots from Chichu. They need a whole lot more, but
Sword
somehow
था वे,
Sadak,
Chichu का
even
sword
when he
था.
doesn't have his gun in hand, still manages to just
Chichu
dodge the
मस्त खेला.
bullets.
एंटी बोल सकते हैं
6-2.
अपन. Small N capital T.
It's a little bit more costly than maybe it should have been, but I don't think
ये
Loud are
देख लो
going to
ना
care.
दोनों W करके.
An operator in hand in EDG. I
QC
feel like
है,
we're
QC
right
है,
back
QC.
on Icebox again. 5 rounds in a row, a pause taken, and the coaching staff once again given a chance to try.
भाई ये तो अभी अंडे में से निकला इतना बड़ा है ये तो. ये VCT में क्या कर रहा है?
At least there's already been a bit more
Time out
promise
आ
on this
चुका है.
attack side, though. When we saw this pause come in early
EDG का.
on Icebox, it definitely felt like it was a bit frantic.
स्ट्रेटजी में हल्का सा चेंज चाड़ है.
As the map
हल्का
went
सा.
on, Loud had
पहले वो
that
लड़क करके
red
खेल
like a
रहे
book.
थे.
This time
अब वो लोग
around,
साथ में
EDG
push
can't
करेंगे.
afford to have that happen again. But there's a major difference, which is
Yeah.
that Concon is
आता VCT
online.
player मैं भी हूँ.
I think now they've sharpened their weapon from the last map. They just need to find the
ये
crack
सोच
in
रहा है
that
सबको
armor
पेल
to
दूंगा,
take
सबको
these
पेल
players
दूंगा,
down.
नहीं छोड़ूंगा.
There's not been too
कोई
many
भी आ जाए,
weaknesses
ये
on display for
उनको
Loud
भी
in this
पेल दूंगा.
series. They've only lost 4 rounds so far.
Yeah, their retakes on the A side have been sublime, so much so that they were pretty happy to actually give it up.
ये बोल रहा है
And then their
किंग
hold on the B side
ये
with
बोल रहा
less
है
in
कि
the
क्या
back of
खेले
it
लो
have
लोग.
also been fantastic.
तुम
Now
लोग
he's
को
only
सही
there
से
with
खेलना
3
पड़ेगा.
kills, but it's
वरना
just
हार
the
जाऊंगे,
counter
हार जाऊंगे
utility
तो
that
घर
comes
चले
out
जाएंगे.
to ease the support
चाचा
that's
भाई
there.
भाई.
And then
भाई
obviously at
Lenovo
times
Ideapad
QCK
Gaming
just
3
taking that
R5
aggressive push. And as we've said,
6600
throughout this
H
tournament, he
RT
has been one of those
कैसा?
players that's under the
क्या
microscope.
बात कर रहे हो
He's
ब्रो?
replacing big
ब्रो मेरे पास
shoes,
अभी है
whether
वो है Lenovo Ideapad
that player
Gaming
didn't make it
3
to this event or
R5
not.
4600H
He's
and
a talking
5600H.
point.
मेरे
And in
पास
the
दो
last
है.
2 maps, honestly, he's been
दोनों
sublime.
दोनों
He has
लैपटॉप
been
एकदम
a
सेक्सी.
nuisance for
तो
EDG
ये तो यार
to deal
obviously
with. Top
सेक्सी
of the
होगा.
board right now.
6600H आ गया.
EDG
मैं
with an
मार्केट से चला गया इसका
investment,
मतलब.
rifles onto the board. As said, A site
देखो
has
अभी
been a
स्ट्रेन
good
कर रहा हूँ
place
मैं.
for them to get
Easy.
in. The problem is the
मस्त है
retakes
मस्त
from
है.
Loud
You can
have
go
been
for it.
on point.
But still
This is it, Tom.
still तुम
Like,
देख लेना.
you know,
उसके आजू बाजू में कोई है क्या?
Tui's
लैपटॉप
posted
में.
on this angle up in hand.
HP पवेलियन
Game
हो
hasn't
सकता
really
है.
got started for
But
EDG yet.
देख तू
An
अगर
opportunity
ले सकता है
to claim
तो
this
लीजन ले
A-side as
सकता
the-
है.
Oh,
लीजन तुम्हें पता होगा.
right
लीजन
away.
इज लव.
The
लीजन इज
timing
गुड.
is found,
लीजन
the
इज गॉड.
space is taken, and Tui's
लीजन
just
देख लेना तेरे
right
बजट
back
में तो
out of
लीजन
there.
लेना होगा.
Sleeves.
He's set up
बिल्ड
again
क्वालिटी
for
पावर
another angle
सब
with the opposite.
मामले में
He
एकदम
smoked
नेक्स्ट
off,
लेवल है लीजन.
but
लीजन के
my
बाद ये
goodness.
मेरे को पसंद है.
Tom, this is not an
Favorite मेरा
ideal
Legion
start
है.
for EDG.
No.
Nobody down. They're not going to have a lot of info on the way through.
But the thing is as well, Loud aren't just sitting there. They've already taken B main control, realizing there's no one there, so the rest of the team are able to rotate in early. They're able to claim so much space because the fact is the lurks from Chichu have failed every single time.
चलो
So they're
चलो.
already there just
Smoggy
pounding
को पेलो,
utility
Smoggy को
into
पेलो.
these players. Chichu's desperately hoping to try and find something, but you expect it to be searched for, and it may not even be needed. The flash from QCK is also just perfect. Howdong low, and they're waiting.
ये देख रहे हो
Let's just
lateral,
watch it.
lateral.
He knows that Chichu's
पता था
eventually
इसको,
going to
पता
try
था.
and make his move.
मैं इसको
The
पता ही
fact
था
is,
कि भाई
Loud
ये
at this
कोई ना
point
कोई
are
तो
just
है
reading
इसका.
the script. A paranoia
ये
into the
गया.
back, the blinded players
Boom,
stuck
boom.
above. What did they step into?
भाई बेचारे को
This is all
कैसे
just
मारा यार.
perfect. Loud can do no wrong, and Howdong, he has to wipe the entire squad, and
भाई
QCK
उसको
is
कैसे मारा
instant
यार.
on the trade. They're running a clinic on EDG at the moment. Just fantastic from Loud.
Run it back, and Viper's Pit online for next. 2 away from the Rolling Thunder on Cow and Zine with 7 rounds on the board. And near no promise for the side of EDG to get back into this series. The door is being shut on them, Tom. And I mean,
It's so
like
perfect.
every single
Smoggy
piece
को
of
बहुत
this
गंदा
replay
पेला
is so
ऐसे नहीं
good.
पेलते.
You mentioned the push-up on B main. It gave them a little bit of information. But from there, the rotate comes in. Les leaves
give
B
you a little
main,
bit of
moves to mid,
information.
waits for the lurk. I mean, if they had the coaches'
Jolly,
notes
jolly,
in
PRX,
front of
please.
them,
Jolly,
I
jolly,
still
PRX.
couldn't predict it that well, mainly because I don't think they'd be able to read them.
भाई प्लेस देख के मैं ऐसा हो रहा हूँ.
You never
एंटी
know.
प्लेस.
They're a team of many talents at this stage. Tui's maybe in a little bit more trouble than we've seen before as they look to put the pressure on much faster. I don't mind this approach from EDG. The fact is, a lot of the time they've been given this control by Loud.
Slowly
Pretty
gameplay
good
इन लोगों का.
spot.
Slowly gameplay.
Sadak is here early. Again, though, when you have a run it back in play, you're more than happy to just go for a retake. Hunter's Fury thrown out. Nobody just desperately trying to find an opening kill. That's one of the things that EDG have pretty much failed to get in almost every single round.
but-
Oh, the shock and spam!
Smoggy को ऐसे ही मारते हैं भाई. Smoggy को
He
ऐसे ही
just
मारते हैं
predicted
यार.
where his opponent was going to go. Run it back now in.
Smoggy का
Utility
bad luck
set
चल रहा
up
है.
to try and play QCK into position. They're watching for it,
घर
but he
जाके
still
वो रोने
takes
वाला
down
है.
Karkan. That advantage was never had. The spam almost eliminating Howdong. Wallbang in. It's just one left. They're cleaning house.
चलो
They're
चलो
making
घर
this
घर.
look so easy.
घर जा
Another
सकते.
flawless round to make it 8-2.
It's a hard one to find hope in, but I can swing it. Hope for EDG? Maybe not. Hope for Loud in the future of this tournament?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yes.
If they keep playing like this, they're back in contention, because that's been the thing that's sort of been a bit shaky for them so far, is they've not looked bad, but they've not looked like Loud.
Yeah,
this is looking like Loud. This is looking like a
Loud,
Champions winner.
You know,
this is looking like a team that
I
have
disagree.
been at many
New round,
events before.
चलो
They
बंदे
have
जाओ.
looked like Loud. They've just looked like Loud at a
Breeze तक
Masters
पहुंचेंगे ही नहीं
event.
लोग.
Not Loud at any other
Right.
event. But now, finally, we're seeing this team at a Masters be able to put up numbers. One map already secured.
Yeah.
More than halfway to get
Point.
this one. And EDG haven't even got off the starting point. 2 rounds on their attack. One player already lost to start this, and it's Chichu. This is why you're going to see those breaks.
Breeze ready है full to
way
ability के
down.
लिए.
They have to watch
But
B,
कोई आया नहीं
they have to
यार.
watch A pushes, and with those extremities being watched, there's only one man you're going to
Oh,
rely
का
on
goal
to
देख
try
रहे हो
to
ना?
punch through this defense.
रहे हो?
It was Con sent through for spams, finds nothing. They are just looking for an opportunity right now.
Do you know, I wonder if, like, Genji is out there going, well, we can't play them again, right? Because we already played them. And then Senna going, well, they're from our region, so we can't play them again, right? It's just like, both seeing who can make the better
Revealing the
excuse as
area.
to why they don't want to play Loud, because I would
पर मेरा वाईफाई चल गया. Yeah,
all the teams they're seeing
congratulations brother.
look to make it to
Very
the
good,
playoffs.
very good.
They're looking fierce.
Party कब है? Party कब है?
Gap,
Party कब है
well,
bro?
it
Party
was
कब है?
left for a millisecond.
Let's go.
Sadak, I think there might have even been a flicker of a knife in his head
Kang
for
Kang
just a
middle से आ रहा
moment.
है.
30
No,
seconds.
not
they
acceptable.
have no map control. They are just looking to take it to the elbow.
Oh
the flash.
my.
Perfect. He hasn't killed anyone yet, but
QC है. Feel कर रहा है. अपने आप को feel कर रहा है bro.
of EDG. Any questions
भाई
that were being
flawless
asked
कर
of
दिया.
this man now?
Flawless.
Gone. 18 and 5. He's had a
भाई
field
9-3
day
नहीं होगा.
on the
9-3
defensive
कर सकते
side.
हो. 9-3 हो जाएगा. Sorry.
Yeah, we've talked a little bit about him struggling to
8-3
break
कर
through
दो.
the sight at the entry role, but I'm not even sure what role I'd call this. He's just shooting people. He's
playing attack on defense.
18 and 5.
Point है.
9-2. EDG, one last chance to put a round on the board here on the attacking side.
10-2 कर दो easy है.
9-3 at the
10-2 कर
half.
दो easy है.
It's not a lot of hope, but it's a damn side better than what they'll be facing.
भाई होमडोम
otherwise.
को पेल दिया इन लोगों ने देखा ना
They're up against
कैसा
the Viper's
पेला
pit, they're up
क्योंकि
against a
ये लोग ना
rolling thunder.
सीलो खेल रहे हैं समझ रहे हो
As well as just what Loud have been bringing to the table again and
और
again.
लाउड
Let's
रीड
actually
में
use the Viper's
डेंजर है
pit
हाँ
off. I think he just used it now because he was like, oh.
I think that is the first. I mean, when have they needed it?
सोटे
Exactly.
ये
Unless
सोटे
you're gonna
देखिए
lock down
अगर
B main,
ओवरवॉच
which
खेला
again
होगा
hasn't
तो
really been
उसमें
challenged for that
कौन है
aggressively
यार
and certainly not
उससे
successfully
सोटे
from
जैसा है
EDG.
नाम मैं भूल गया अभी के लिए
There's
Using
been
it for
no
Bama.
pressure, zero pressure from this squad.
You know the little like challenges you get. He's just like, oh, I've got to do my
अरे
challenge.
यार
so
नाम
I'll
क्या था
choose
उसका
Mao in the last
सोटी वाला
Yeah, gotta use
छोड़
one
देने वाला
more
नाम क्या है
ult to get
ओवरवॉच
my
में वो
points.
चलो वो बाद
Trying to
में
complete the
मैच
battle
करते
pass, guys. Come
हैं
on.
अभी गेम पे फोकस
I mean,
अरे यार
Okay.
ambitious to
Let's
rolling thunder
go
in the
घुसो
back of
घुसो
the
मारो
reveal.
मारो
This is
किसी
gonna
के
be
जा
big.
जा
That's
जा
caught
जा
quite
जा
a lot of players, even towards elbow. It's keeping Con in position. The ult was used. Smoggy can be revived, so Loud might want to compete for mid control. Maybe this can work out for EDG to force another
Oh,
fight.
bhai.
Instead, Kaunzi wants to try to get a little.
Spam,
angle.
spam,
He's got a
spam.
spam on it, but he's traded out. That's what EDG wanted. The man advantage sits in their favor as they move towards B, and they're bypassing this Viper's pit
Kang Med,
entirely.
maar de
Sadak needs to
Sadak,
be
please
careful
isko maar
here.
de.
He's
Sadak.
playing a risky
Sadak,
game
brother.
up against Con. The flank is underway as well. Look, Chichu's thread the needle straight through.
Yeah, the thing is,
4v3 है
it might actually end up banned from. I think the
4v3
steps will be
है
heard, so he should be able to catch Tui's this
प्लांट हो रहा है
time.
भी
Sadak can stop it.
He's been expected, and even still, it's looking like they might finally get another round.
ये round गया,
Not
ये round
quite
गया.
anything
9-3
for
curse
Sadak,
होना
and
मांगता.
now it's left on to less. Finally, after a long hiatus from the board, we do
500
see
साल बाद उनको
another
मिल गया
round,
एक
the
round.
last round of the half, go the way of EDG. But let's be real, Mitch, this has not been
मैं तो
a
कहता हूँ
pleasant
पेल दो
outing
भाई
for them.
No, it absolutely has.
लगता है कि मैं किसी के
EDG
दिखा
coming
देगी
up
2
against
year
Loud.
finish
I think we're all expecting this to be a close
वो
one.
वहां से बॉल
We
बैंग
saw
कर रहा है
from
मार
EDG in
दूंगा
this
मार
tournament
दूंगा
so far, the Paper X game, for God's
भाई
sake.
एक round
But
जीते
here is Loud,
ये लोग
a team we talked
अभी
about
ओडी
being
ले
a
लेंगे
week
मेरे
in
को लग रहा
form,
है
and they've got 9 rounds set to close this series out 2-0. EDG need a
जल्दी
lot
करो
of
भाई जल्दी
hope.
करो
I'm not the one to find it. Maybe we can hear some words of encouragement from Haodong after his last game.
half time
大家好，我是
So to say, but I am
浩
with
东，在
Raze
担任 IGL， 还有
ठीक
烟味，
ठीक ठीक
感觉自己还需要
चिंग
很
चुंग
多
के साथ
调
हो
整
तुम
的地
लोग
方。
ओके
其实他们打的
Henry Gas
东
लगा
西
रो
就
bro
是一成不变的吧，我个人感觉
Point
是这样的。但是其实今天
बात तो सही है इसकी
失败的
I
更
think
多
it
原
is
因
pretty
是
serious
来
more
源于我们自身吧。应对的方式很简单，首先我觉得
किरमाड़ा
失利首先是从游戏内容吧，先从游戏内容里面抓问题，
बात तो
然
सही है
后
इसकी
再
बात
从
तो
游
सही
戏
है
外面再抓心态上面的问题。我们
Mindset
队
के साथ
伍
issue
其
तो है
实大家都会互相承担一些问题吧，然后我觉得我们队伍不会出现那种一场
पॉइंट
失
है
败
पॉइंट
就
है
把整个
पॉइंट
人击
है
垮
एक फेलियर के बाद मैं भी ऐसा ही हो जाता हूँ लाइक ये मैं भी फेस करता हूँ तो ये लोग तो करेगी ऑब्वियसली
They've
बात
already gotten past, and it's Con, the danger man. Now operator in hand, dash online, Bladestorm in the back pocket, and he's making his way forward. He's making noise while the rest of his team come in to fill the gaps.
每次打世界赛吧，大家本身抱有的心态就是
बैठ जा बैठ
这
जा बैठ
其实
जा
是最后一
बैठ
次
जा
世界
बेटा
赛
बैठ
大
जा
家每次都是
भाई ये थोड़ा ज्यादा
包括下一场比赛，还有包括昨天对阵 Paper Rex 的比赛
कल का यार पेपर एक्स का डेंजरस था मेरे को
去面对。
क्या यार मेरे को कोई
可能在职业选手
मैं क्या बोलूं यार
职业生涯里面可能会打很多次世界赛
मेरे को देखना होगा फिर से वो
包括
पर मैंने थोड़ा सा हल्का सा देखा है
这一次世界赛有可能是我们5个人的最后一次世界赛。我想的这肯定是
रेज नहीं खेल सकता
就
ब्रो
是说白了，珍惜每一次机会
We
吧
have the
然后
loud
把每一次都当成最后
QCK
一次
in
来
our
打
side
如果说这样的话，其实个人觉得是更能发挥我个人。
पॉइंट तेरी सही है तू बात तेरी सही है एकदम मैं तेरी बात से सहमत हूँ बट आप हार रहे हो
Well,
ऐसे
learning
नहीं
from
बोलते
defeat for EDG.
भाई
They'll
9
certainly
रिकॉर्ड
have
से
a
लोग
lot to
ओडिन लेके
learn
बूम
from
बूम कर
this
सकते
series
हैं
so far, Tom, but it's not a defeat yet. 9-3.
The
Other
loud
side.
signs are so, they're so good, but they're
लेट्स
so
गो गाइस
toxic. Did you see
अब
that
अटैकिंग
one?
का
No, I
खेल आ
didn't.
चुका है
Will it
खेला
be a
खेलने के लिए
QCK
तैयार
2-0?
हो जाइए
A quick
खेला
throw,
तैयार
I like it.
It's they master of puns.
Especially 'cause he's
चश्मा
got
पहन लेता हूँ
quick
चश्मा
one
पहन
in
लेता
his
हूँ
name as well. Would it be a quick one? That would have been good as
एनालिसिस
well.
होना चाहिए
Fine.
डेंजर लेवल
Forgive it.
Here we go. Leading the
देख रहे हो?
charge is
देख रहे हो?
QCK.
तोड़
He
दो
has
तोड़ दो
been
वेरी गुड
fantastic.
ऐसे होते हैं
Matchup
टीममेट
so far, 18
अपने यहाँ तो
and
पिल
6.
जाएंगे ठिल जाएंगे कोई
A
ट्रिप नहीं
side going to be
तोड़ेगा
completely under their control. Now the same idea is in play from EDG. We've seen a lot of teams go for the
भाई
retake
इतना-
on this side.
इतना
Paranoia still
खतरनाक
available,
तरीके
shock
से
darts and extra flash for
मिल गया
Smoggy.
साइड
They have the utility to do
वो लोग
it.
बी पे पूरा
question
स्टेक
is-
कर रहे बाबा
The Loud even let them
पीक
get
मत लो
that
ब्रो
far.
पीक मत लो अभी इजी है
Well, there's certainly been a lot of
Omen in the
promise
left,
on the loud
Omen in the
retakes,
left.
like you said.
QCK
EDG look
QCK
to
मेरे को
capture some of that magic. Smokes are down. The retake's underway.
अभी retake
Flank
देखना है,
spotted
retake
as
कैसे
well.
करते हैं?
Loud have a
Full
good
lengthy
idea
video.
of exactly what EDG are trying to do. The crunch comes in and they're ready. Con dropped right away, but a quick fight back. EDG still have some life in them with Smoggy picking up another. It's down to a
Let's go.
2v2, but QCK stands strong. Nice shot by
Oh.
Smoggy with the molly in his
Let's
feet.
go.
Too hot to handle. 10
लेट्स गो
rounds
कर
for
कर
Loud.
कर की ऐसी की तैसी
He's looking like a different beast.
कर सिर्फ
today,
मुंबई सरोवर में
genuinely. This
लागू
QCK
पड़ता है
is
ये
someone
पूरे
that
वैलोरेंट पॉइंट
was
पॉइंट
clearly
पॉइंट
seen, but that's the thing. At this point,
पॉइंट टू बी
I
नोटेड
think that you could give
कर
Sadak
सिर्फ और सिर्फ मुंबई पे ही लगता
anybody,
है
and if he goes, yeah, he's good to go. We've just got to believe it. It
मुंबई
wouldn't
सर्वर
matter.
एक्सक्लूसिव कर आ गया
I think he could bring back some like 40-year-old FPS
देख
player.
रहा क्यूसी के ब्रदर क्यूसी
No,
के
sorry.
भाई वाइपर के उसने गोले का इतना खतरनाक प्रयोग किया है
Card game version, sure.
मजा आया
Wow,
मजा आया
toxic. I believe in you, Lothar.
आई बिलीव
Here
इन
we
यू
go. 10 to 3.
सेरीप लेके ए प्ले सम प्लेस
Well, Blaze Kawasi's just taken down
फिर भी
two
पेल आ गया
players
फिर भी पेल
who
आ
were lined
गया
up ready. QCK
फिर
is
भी
looking
पेले
to
गए
heal himself
लोग
back
क्या
up.
कर रहे हैं लोग
Bear in mind, Konkan has actually
इनका
invested.
एक गया उनके 3 चले गए वाओ
An interesting one. I didn't expect to see a Spectre
कांग है और
light
चीचू है
shield.
दो
I
चीचू को तो
guess
ऐसे
just the
चुप चुप
scenario
करके
so
मार देंगे
bleak,
हम
he was hoping that maybe he could bridge the gap with some
चलो कल
not even
चीचू
a
कल
hero Spectre. I don't know if that's
लड़कर
ever been
चीचू
said,
उनका भाई
but
एकदम
I
लड़कर तो
understand what he was
है पर
going
इतना
for there,
खतरनाक
trying to
नहीं है
get the
समझ रहे
timing on the player droning, but it's safe
हो
to say
लेट्स गो
Sadak had friends waiting by.
लेट्स गो इज माय
The
फेवरेट
pistol
Yes,
rounds
yes.
have been
Thank you,
going
thank
to
you.
Loud again and again. This time, though, they're able to build on the back of it.
पेपर एक्स को बुलाओ ना भाई पेपर एक्स को बुलाओ प्लीज
there. Round 2 and 3 went to EDG. They upset them on that
Yeah.
second round. I even remember
क्योंकि के
Thomas
एक काम कर
"Oh, we've got a game
3 किल ले ले अल्ट करके
I
दो
have
लोगों को
to
मार
say
दे
that.
एफ इजी गेम प्ले
They are.
समझ रहे हो इजी है
And for EDG, you know, there's a lot to talk about in their previous games.
यावडंग
In
और
this one,
कंकन
though,
दोनों बहुत
5
उछल रहे
rounds
थे ना
across the series
इनको
so
पेलो मैं
far,
बोल रहा हूँ
Loud have just had complete control. Their buy round here represents a chance to put the foot down, at least make this scoreline a little bit closer. Again, the man winning those opening duels doesn't change. He's taken damage and now finally dropped. And Kankan's made it out a lot. To the nade. He just stood in it. Smoggy's taken down less. Okay. Well, it started out poorly, but it's been recovered. It was starting to be recovered nice.
No. नहीं
Not again. Not in rounds like this. Chichu, the player
Let's go.
and he wins it. Come on.
भाई तो लाउड सबसे ओपी टीम लग रहा है. मेरे को भी.
And it's not for EDG.
भाई कैसे पेल दिया?
12-3. I could chop
भाई EDG को ऐसा कैसे बोलूं, ये नहीं बोल सकता, थोड़ा कंट्रोवर्शियल हो जाएगा फिर.
I can't believe the 2Es has just got away with that.
भाई सारी टीम बेस्ट ही है तभी तो बीसी टीम है. बट ओमन ने जो किल लिया ये चीचू का डेंजर. अरे पूरा रीड है रे उनपे, पूरा रीड है कि भाई चीचू इधर है, चीचू उधर जाएगा, चीचू इधर है. पूरी लाउड को बोल मुंबई सर्वर टॉपस्टर में दिखाए. ब्रदर वो आ गई ना फिर हमारा इसी का इसी कर देंगे. टाइम आउट फ्रॉम द
We've casted fast best of threes in the past.
Had our fair share.
Yeah. Gambit versus Crazy Raccoon. That was the one. That
Let's
was,
go.
that was maybe even a little bit quicker than this.
Occupies a very small slot of my memory.
Here we go.
अरे technical difficulties.
Can store that in a $2 USB. Well, 9 chances to close it out based on what we've
ये
seen.
पी रहा है, मेरे को भी पीना है, मेरे को भी, मैं भी पी लेता हूँ दूध.
Not really. This has got to be a one time. It's a concrete.
क्या खेल रहे हो? अब उनके पास कुछ है नहीं, समझ रहे हो?
I definitely admire them for taking it.
They'll get to stay on the stage.
दूध पियो, विचिटी देखो, दूध पियो, विचिटी देखो.
Doubled their time on stage on this map. No, I'm kidding. But maybe they will. Not just because of the timeout, but because of the
उन्होंने टाइम आउट में क्या बोला खबर? पता है उनके कोच ने कि भाई अब तो हार ही गए, कैसे भी खेल लो ये ग्राउंड, हम हार रहे, हम घर जा रहे, टाटा बाय बाय.
The second I stop underestimating them, they fall apart.
Yeah, but I think
चलो ये मैच बहुत रोमांचक होने वाला है ये राउंड. या तो वो एग्रेसिव खेलेंगे या तो फिर वो बहुत स्लो खेलेंगे.
And looking to make their way through to the playoffs. Playoffs that, well, we definitely want to see them if they're going to continue.
तैयार है वो?
their run like
स्मोगी
this.
तैयार? मैं सुनता हूँ.
Flash is good, but less is there. Playing counter once again. Chichu about to be under some serious pressure. They're trying to counter out.
Mumbai server is not for beginners. I agree.
And he's going to clear him out and take down Karkan.
भाई किसी के क्या खेल रहे हो ब्रो? ऐसे तो वो लोग डिलीट कर देंगे गेम कर जाके.
In real form, and he's looking to finish it the same way. Kawazid is going to put another in the dirt. It's left all to nobody.
पूरे की तरह मर गया ये.
Is standing in Loud's way, closing out this series. A obliteration of EDG as Loud.
चश्मा निकाल के बोल रहा है ये सब तेरा बंदों को.
Looks like the curse is finally broken for their Masters runs. They've made it deep.
बहुत डेंजर खेली रे, बहुत डेंजर खेली. एक में 3 और एक में 2. वन साइडेड गेम भाई, वन साइडेड गेम वही बोल रहा हूँ मैं. मेरे मुंह की बात छीन ली भाई. कांगकांग बेटा हेलो. नीचे भाई कांगकांग बहुत उछल रहा था.
A shame to close
one-sided,
out their final
one-sided.
series like this, but it's definitely not representative of what they've been able to bring to the international scene.
Loud को इतना खतरनाक रीड आ रहा है उन लोगों का. ये यहाँ से लड़ करेगा, यहाँ से एक लड़का होगा, यहाँ से वो होगा. Full RE squad. कैसे पुश करना? सारी चीजें ऐसा लिखी हुई है. वो हैरी पॉटर देखा है ना, जिसमें कैसा लिखा हुआ है कि कैसे ये बनाते काढ़ा. ऐसा.
But for Loud, this was a statement matchup. They came in a team that had beaten them before in a Masters, a team they beat in a close series at Champions. They have obliterated them in this matchup and now look to go through into the playoffs. And as said, if I'm one of those top-seeded teams, I don't want to match up against Loud.
Very good, very
Well,
good.
thanks
Pound
to
में भी
their
पैसे
Phoenix, this most certainly was a quick
खिला के
one.
जीत सकते हैं
24
Pound में पैसे
7. A
खेल के
player that
Bro,
we've highlighted on the
सामने ही
desk throughout
सामने
this
सबको
event
पेलम
as
पाल दे
having
दिया one sided
struggles.
game हो
That's
गया
what
आप
the
बोल रहे हो
community narrative has been, fitting into his role. Say he looks pretty damn comfortable now.
अबे इंटरव्यू होगा इंटरव्यू होगा
For
अब
anyone
इंटरव्यू होगा
facing
वो
this
बोलेगा
Loud
अभी
team.
करवा
Moving on in the tournament and moving on with our games
ऐसा
for
नहीं
today.
बोलेगा
It's time to throw this one over to the analyst desk.
एनालिस्ट
Thanks,
एनालिस्ट
guys. I mean, a quick day at work, you know? Not bad at all. Goodness gracious. I genuinely blown away. Let's just jump right into this real fast, go into our HyperX Reflex moment of the day, because it is going to be QCK. We're going to give this man his flowers
भाई
finally
क्या
on
खेल
the
रहा है ऐसे
broadcast.
खेलेगी तो वो लोग
He
डिलीट नहीं कर
had
देंगे
a lights
भाई क्या
out
लिखा
game.
तूने लकी ये भाई लकी तेरे को नाइट बोर्ड और तेरा झगड़ा है क्या ब्रो
The way this
कुछ
guy
डालो ना यार
was playing when he was on the Phoenix,
लड़ो
he
मत
was
रे लड़ो
working into these retakes incredibly well,
Night-
setting up his flashes with his squad,
नाइट बोर्ड
and
भाई
also
लकी
just
कोई
fragging
खेलता है
individually.
भाई
And it
नाइट
was
बोर्ड
the
मेरे
same
साथ
on
ही
the
की
jet.
दुश्मनी
This
है
guy has a lot of doubters for good
वही
reason.
बोल रहा
I'll
हूँ
admit,
भाई
I was one of them, but I think he's dispelled a lot of that
नाइट बोर्ड
criticism. with
नाइट
his
बोर्ड भी वन
performance
साइडेड
today,
है
especially if he
नाइट
keeps
बोर्ड
this
बेटा
up into the
मस्ती
playoffs.
Yeah, it
नहीं
feels like,
मस्ती
you know,
नहीं
most
रे मार
importantly
दूंगा
for
तुझे
this instance here,
यहीं
right?
कहीं
Especially for QCK having like this big impactful game, this should be a massive uplift. for
इसमें
them,
से एक
right?
पपलू ले जा
Because
सकते हैं
we
क्या
constantly
ये
talk about
पेंगुइन चाहिए मेरे को
Aspas
और
was the
ये बनी भी नहीं चाहिए
playmaker
बनी
for
नहीं
the
चाहिए ये
team.
दोनों
Was
चाहिए
QCK going to
और
be
ये
that
गेको का
guy?
लेफ्ट में
And
बड़ा
he
वो भी
didn't
चाहिए
necessarily need to be that guy, but I felt like we finally
But he's
got that
finding
here
who
today.
he is,
Yes,
and I think that's what
exactly.
really matters for
Yeah.
Loud
See the dark
finding
clouds.
who they are themselves in 2024.
Yeah, this is going to be super fun to see what Loud can do in the playoffs, but of course that means we have to say goodbye to EDG Edward Gaming.
पेपर एक सारी है
An
उनका
exit
इंटरव्यू
that I
दूँ
genuinely did not expect. A grand total of 5 rounds won by
भाई
the
है
number
वो
one
मेरे को
Chinese
अच्छे लगे
squad.
ये
That
पपले
is
लोग जो इन लोगों ने
heartbreaking.
रखे कास्टर
Yeah,
लोग
and
ने
this is a team, again, we talked so much about it in the pre-show about how this team just kept getting better and better, but
Yeah.
they really fell apart
ये
in
देख रहे
these
हो
last
एक
two
किल
matches.
करके ये
The
मार
mental
दिया
was
क्या बोल
crumbling,
रहा
the
था
rounds weren't sticking together,
What do you
and
think
they
it
were
was?
up against
What would you chalk it
It's
to?
so hard to place.
Yeah.
I really think that they
Sad
just
है, sad है,
somehow,
अंदर
after
से
that
sad है।
JG game, lost faith in the system, lost faith in themselves, and didn't find it in themselves to bounce back after. Unfortunately, they're home, but Loud, looking good.
What a day.
God,
Let's go
like
ahead
a
and hear
god.
from the man of the hour.
Obvious-
It's Sadak
obviously,
standing by
bro.
with Kukuka.
Y estamos aquí con Sadak.
Yeah, let's go, guys. Benfica te इंतजार कर रहा था।
él nos la va a dejar
एल्मो स्कार को मेरे को लड़की की बातें सारी समझ आती है इनकी नहीं आती पता नहीं क्यों लड़की क्या दिल से बोलती है आपको भी सुनाई देगा आप ही देखो
Brilliant performance there on Icebox. EDG picked that map, but you definitely show them how it's played. Did you imagine that it was going to be such a dominant performance? Sé que me has
इंग्लिश में क्यों बोल रही है
entendido,
कल तो
te repito la
परस करस
pregunta.
करस
Menuda
खेल रही
performance que habéis tenido en ese
Ay,
Icebox. Ellos lo escogen, pero vosotros les dais una lección a impartís cátedra. ¿Cómo ha sido eso?
Y la
इतना
verdad,
बड़ा हो
cuando
जाता है क्या
vimos que ellos escogieron Icebox, dijimos, buenísimo, o sea, es nuestro mapa, nos sentimos muy cómodos, así
We
que
are just
entramos
feeling
con
us,
mucha
ऐसा कुछ बोला
confianza
क्या?
y la verdad salió todo bien.
Basically, when we saw that they picked that map, we were like, that's so good. We feel super comfortable in this map, so everything is going to go our way, and it definitely did. Next question is going to be
मैं भी यही
about
समझा था
QCK,
मैं भी
about
यही
Quick.
समझा था
Many people have had questions about, you know, who he's replacing and yada yada. I know that he has not had
जल्दी आ
an
जल्दी आ
easy
लेके
day.
आ मेरे
I
लिए भी
want
थोड़ा
you
सा
to
लेके
tell
आ
us, how he's feeling and how do you see his performance on the big stage. Ya sabemos que no ha tenido un día facilito. Quiero que me digas tú, como su IGL y uno de sus mentores, ¿cómo estás viendo su performance y qué tal
¿Mentores?
está él?
Y la verdad, yo estoy muy orgulloso de él. Para quien no sabe, él durmió
ये language
solamente
तो है,
2 horas.
language है,
Esta noche
language
se la
है।
pasó vomitando, tuvo que ir al hospital, la pasó muy mal y le dijimos, quédate tranquilo, haz
Point.
tu mejor. Lo que pasa es que el mejor del muchacho es muy bueno, la verdad. Así que estoy muy orgulloso, es un guerrero, la verdad que muy, muy orgulloso.
Okay, so basically for those
Bhai,
of you who
Sen
didn't
versus
know,
PRX,
QCK
same,
was
same,
sick. He
brother,
only
same
slept
to
for 2
same.
hours. They were telling
मेरे
him,
को ये भी
"Give me
देखना
out,
था
just
TH
do
versus
as good as you can.
TRX
Nobody's going to
देखना
look
था
down on you if you
एक
don't
मैच
perform."
मैंने देखा
The bad thing is that the
बाकी
worst
के
of
दो
this
नहीं
player
देख
is
पाया दो
actually
है
pretty
एक
damn
दो
good.
है ना
Well, with this,
वो नहीं देख
thank you
पाया
very much.
लेकिन मैं
We will
हल्का सा
see
मैंने
you
देखा
in
था भाई
playoffs.
4
Anybody
सेकंड ने
that you
क्या
wanna
मारा है
face off particularly?
Brother, 4
realmente no quería
second is
enfrentar al otro
dangerous,
equipo de
very
Américas,
dangerous,
a
bro.
Sentinels. Después
Full
el resto,
respect Pro Plus Max.
buenísimo. Así nos vemos en la final, quién sabe.
He doesn't want to play
Chal,
against
Riot को
Sentinels
phone कर रहे,
until
बोल
the
same
finals. So we'll wait and see it there. Don't
Okay.
go anywhere. We have another matchup.
मेरी तरफ
versus
से नहीं बोलना
VALORANT
मेरी
right
तरफ
after
से बोला
this.
PRX वर्सेस सेंटिनल करवा बे भाई ए लाउड वर्सेस वो भी चलेगा मेरे को
It's the rubber band match between
समझ
two
रहे हो?
teams that
Loud
can
versus
very
TRX भी चलेगा
well
मेरे को.
go the distance.
Two teams synonymous with their regions. EDG has been the #1 Chinese representative, and Loud was the one to stop them last
EDG
year.
Carl.
They have a chance to do it again.
They've got to be extremely careful. Tui's needs to time this just right.
साधक अंदर से बोल रहा है क्या मैच तो क्या रे वीडियो अपने ही जात में ये पूरा.
Left standing and back now, just one. Smoggy's on all fours. How Dong tries to
देख
get
रहे
back
हो?
towards him.
Music can improve anything. भाई देख रहे हो कितना खुश हो रहा है. ये तो देखा था मैंने. पीछे से हर बार जो हल्लू हल्लू आया है.
They are one step away from making it to the top 4.
We've hit a reset point. We've gone into sunset. Man, am I worried about EDG.
This is a confident looking Kankan.
ये थोड़ा मार रहा था. पहले 2-3 राउंड मारते.
Combat. How Dong though wants to take down less force forward. And Tui's
भाई स्नेक स्नोक कब रख के रखो रे.
triple in fact.
अभी आ रहे TRX का मैच आएगा मजा आएगा. फुल W. यार मेरे को कल ऑफिस जाना है. जल्दी चालू करो ना यार प्लीज. फिर मेरे को सो जाना पड़ता है.
Obliteration of EDG as Loud make their way to the
Montero
playoffs.
Kasparskisto. ऐसा बोल रहा हूँ. अबे ये ओमन की एड्स आएगी. तब तक हम कुछ करते हैं. तब तक क्या करें ब्रो? थक चुका हूँ ये एड देख के. अब क्या करें. कुछ ऐसा नहीं जो कर सके हम करी तो देख रहा है. ये क्या चल रहा है?
So that no damage can find him. Perfecto and Hobbit and Axile all rerouting instantly over towards main. Perfecto's actually going to go. What you up to?
CS:GO मैंने खेला नहीं है.
They're making a ton of sound. I'm surprised that they're starting to give it away with the audio. Now attention turns over towards main instead. Perfecto, you can't walk around lobby. You're going to have to get running if there's any chance of going for the retake. Sure, if you want exits, you can stick around, but there's nothing left to go for this defuse. So in the end, tip of the hat to Hobbit. Scout shots find some damage. You take the majority of the numbers down, and even these last two barely alive. But you got jerks up to 6-0 already. Nice clean start on the T side of Nuke. The 3-0 out the game.
Jing.
And cause like where he said, look, we can see it. It's so cool, man. Look, it's like a real banner thingy. Can you see it? But I don't know where to keep it. So cool, but dude, it's so heavy actually. This thingy. Oh my god.
They've got the most confidence, and they have built out such a great base that it feels like they've got a very thorough defense, very thorough attack, and it's going to be on Cloud9 to find the very few gaps that exist on their nuke right now. But Hobbit, again, those scout shots were so on point. I mean, a shot like that wouldn't surprise me.
There we go. Early signs of success for Hobbit. Bodes well for Cloud9's CT half. He'll be instrumental. He loses control of Secret as far as the entrance goes, but also lingers. No support outside to help him.
Oh my goodness.
That was a little sketchy, but he gets lucky that's not a pounce.
I think he wishes he had his gun out.
Double up inside of...
एक मिनट आया मैं. एक मिनट दो मेरे को. एक मिनट दो मैं आया. ओके एक मिनट.
With everything else, trying to tell me I was picking a fight. Should've known that it was just a gaslight. Now you got me faded, jaded. All the time I wasted. Done with getting a fix and giving all my love just to watch it get forgotten with everything else.
Welcome back to day 5 of our coverage here at Masters Madrid, and our final match of the Swiss stage is about to go underway. It's going to be the Blue Wall versus W Gaming. Of course, I'm Golden Boy alongside with Mimi and Kukuka, and we have a great one for you. It's going to be Carmine Core going up against PaperX, and I think a lot of people were very much selling PaperX very short going into their matchup against Heretics yesterday, and we saw a revitalized, rejuvenated, energetic PaperX, Mimi, that honestly we haven't really quite seen before. Especially when, you know, they've always been known as the fun guys, having a good time. But no, Moniette was out there just talking all that hot trash. Had to make sure I correct myself.
For a
Almost
second.
pulled a Brent for a moment there.
I'm people. I was the one who was doubting PaperX for good reason.
How dare you people?
Because they have not looked like themselves this entire tournament. But Heretics awoke
Benji
the
Fishy, Benji
beast.
Fishy and I.
Benji Fishy was standing up, was
Yes.
yelling at them, telling them to sit
Benji
down.
Fishy.
And then the second half, they had one of the wildest comebacks I have seen. Finally, this team was back PaperXing, right?
Benji
All the
Fishy must
individuals were
have
popping up. They were flooding back into sight. They were making
TH
magic happen. It felt
it
like
is must है रे.
honestly, just
But PaperX
the
समझ रहे हो ना
mystique
थोड़ा.
of
थोड़ा
PaperX
समझो
of
यार,
how
थोड़ा
do they
समझो.
win this was back for the first time in ages.
आ गया मैं.
Yeah, exactly.
नहीं
And
जोर.
probably it wasn't just
Sting
coming
cold
from them,
drink
it was provoked
Sting?
by the other team.
Sting
As
पिता है तू?
we were just
Bye.
watching, like the reaction
मत
is
पियो रे.
unanimous also on the side of PaperX. It would be so easy because after, what was it, 4K in 4 rounds in a row, like Heretics was just
I mean, they were getting stomped the first half.
Literally.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you know what? Enough is enough. We're not going to have it, and they go on to be the most PaperX, just thriving in the chaos that they love, and just giving up the best performance that we've seen so far from them just last night.
And let's not forget that Forsaken came into this event saying, you know, I'm playing like a 6 out of 10. We asked Alex what he thought coming into this event PaperX was going to be. What did he say?
He said 6 out of 10.
Like, they feel like they're coming into this event like so mid, and then they end up walking on that stage.
But
Point,
They were. This
Yeah,
is
I
the
get it,
first
yeah.
time that they have been more than that 6 out of 10. You look at the rest of that Heretics game, and there was mistakes being made. Heretics was the better team for the majority of that one, but they have this wild ability to activate sometimes and come back, and that's what makes them such a scary opponent against a team like Carmen.
Point,
There is
point.
something very similar.
लड़की की बात बताओ मैं.
There is something that makes teams like PaperX,
लड़की की
teams that
बात
have been
बताओ
in so
मैं.
many international events different from the others, and is that they have the ability to peak when and where they need it most.
Yeah.
It's very similar to Loud, honestly, in that way.
Exactly, right. It's a very good simile because many teams will be,
भाई ये
their
जो
peak is out of
बातें
their
कर रहे हैं
control,
ना,
right? They will
उसमें
have like
देखो
a
थोड़ा.
brilliant, outstanding performance, and maybe
कि
they
कैसे एक दूसरे को
fall a bit
support कर रहे हैं और
lackluster, like, for
conversation को
example,
आगे
what we
बढ़ा
saw,
रहे हैं, बहुत आगे
from
बढ़ा रहे हैं.
EDG. Most teams cannot
Time
control
निकाल रहे
it.
हैं.
If you're able to control it, that is more than just an ace under your sleeve.
Well, you know, we talk about this,
Wait,
but
wait,
the
do it
catalyst of
please,
it all
please.
was Moniette. He was the guy who got up and let everyone know who was boss. Thankfully, we got a chance to speak to him because Mika Fabs is standing by with him.
Hey,
Moniette, can you come over here really quickly? Just a really quick question. So yesterday, your performance, that was a really strong statement coming from you. So what do you plan on doing on keeping the momentum going against KC?
Nothing special actually. I just want to win today because if we lose today, me and Davai will lose the laundry at the hotel.
Is that so? You lose the laundry?
Yeah, because if you lose, like you're going to leave tomorrow, you know.
Oh no, stakes are definitely high then. All right, best of luck to you.
भाई ये क्या बोल रहा है?
Brother, I get it.
Dude, they're winning the tournament.
आ
They're
chukka hai.
winning the tournament. They need to get the
Blood's got to get his laundry back,
Yeah,
okay?
we're all like here.
भाई इसको कपड़ों की पड़ी हुई है?
Performance chiming in, just being unreal for
playing
the
for a
team.
pair of socks.
Meanwhile, in their minds, man, I have my mom's T-shirt. She's gonna kill me if I go back and I lose the T-shirt and still in the hotel.
They're playing for some clean draws. I respect that very much so. All right, well, we'll see, though. Now, the thing is, you know, when you talk about Paper X, you always have to talk about
ए
something.
कोच आ चुका है, कोच आ चुका है.
The player.
The guy.
Danger
the
coach.
guy, something.
Chad, is this something?
I don't.
Something बोल रहा है.
The thing is,
आज तो पी
something
लूंगा.
definitely was a question mark for us because we were seeing him a few times, especially on that Gecko. It just wasn't really clicking the way. I know Mitch is somewhere around happy that I mentioned it. And I guess what I'm wondering here is, you know, Kukuka, like what ends up happening with something coming into this? Because it feels like he has now just found that next gear that he really needed.
I mean, we have to say that in Lotus and in that split, I think that he came back to life. He had to be like some of the in this series compared to what he was doing previous in the tournament. It's gone crazy.
Look at this comparison. The rest
Dad,
of Masters,
Dad,
he's
Dad,
an average
Pyar,
Joe.
Pyar.
He's a guy who shows up,
That
who's
is
playing
love.
the game, whatever. And then map 2 and 3 against Heretics. He's something again. He's winning every first duel he takes. He's out there dominating them. This guy's an absolute superstar, and he wasn't playing like it. for most
Superstar तो मैं भी हूँ.
But he locks Jet 2 maps in a row, and he's enabled very well by his team. Paper X is the team where we have to talk about the individuals. We have to talk
लड़की की
about
बात
the
में, but-
confidence, because that's what gets them going. They have
photos
these,
ले रही
these
क्या?
ideas of how they want to play the
Article
comps, of
के
how they
लिए?
want to
Exactly.
do. But it does not work unless you have individuals like this team does. Seeing them online now makes them a very dangerous team for KC to deal with today.
Yeah,
Incredibly fast, incredibly literally on your face. There are some of the things that, as you're saying, not many teams can go into that line because
Guys, W
they just
gameplay
make
मेरे को भी
everything
सीखना है
seem
था.
crazy. All the action
मैं सिर्फ
happens
W
in
करता हूँ,
like
gameplay नहीं
10,
करता.
15, 20 seconds, and if you're not up to speed, you're gonna be late, man.
All right, well, let's go ahead and shift focus to their opponents on the other side of the stage. It's going to be Carmine Core. Now, they're going to be looking for redemption here because they had to, unfortunately, swallow a tough defeat against the Sentinels. But this is a team that really met a brick wall, right, in Sen. And now, coming into this one, Kukuka, we get to see what this KC team is made of as they have to dig deep, which is something that, well, we have only seen once before. Isn't that right?
Yeah, exactly. We know that KC, just because it's a very new team, they have only lost that one time, right?
Yep.
We saw them failing against Team Heretics back in EMEA. But after that loss, they went on a streak and just kept winning and winning until they got their revenge against them in the final there at kickoff.
Yeah, in the last match we watched them, they were playing a team who just went into playoffs looking fantastic. Sentinels, and it really came down to the wire. I think the make or break in that game, though, was counter-stratting and the read that Kaplan and Sentinels had ahead of time. Here's one example to take a look at on their split, where they go for this Yoru play that we see from them a lot, where they set up this paranoia, and then it gets punished by Sen. They overcommit to it.
So here's the thing, Junkity is completely ready. I love that we're seeing it also in this lower speed. So basically, as you're saying it, he's going to be using the Euro ultimate, and he spots 1, 2, 3, minimum, I would say 3 to 4 players. The thing is that instead of going back, instead of saying, this is not safe, there is a high likelihood that I'm going to go down, they commit to it. So we're in a part in the tournament that is going to be a before and an after when we go into playoffs.
Yeah.
Set plays will get you this far. If you want to go into playoffs and actually be a great contender to winning this trophy, you have to see beyond.
And this is the turning point for
ध्यान
KC.
से मैं
Will it
क्यों
be
पढ़ रहा
like
हूँ?
EMEA
मतलब समझ
kickoff where they
सुन रहा हूँ
take
ये
that
सब.
loss, they learn from it, and they go on a run?
Exam में ना
from
घुस
there
ले
on
कोई.
out? Or will it be like many a promising team that have come to international events before, hit that roadblock and fallen? That's the question for today. Both teams have a massive expectation to make it out of
भाई ये इधर 3 पपलू पड़े उसमें से 1 पपलू मेरे को दो. ये बता
we have
दे
Mika
दो.
standing by as she's going to get some words with Martine. Let's see what's going on there.
Hey Magnum, can we pull you aside for a really quick question? So a lot of IGLs, a lot of coaches say that PRX is a tough team to play against, especially for the first time. So how did you prep for this match?
So hello, yeah, I agree. I think their playstyle is quite annoying, but I don't think it's the playstyle. I think it's their individual performance. I think they're quite insane. But like we prepare like for all of the other teams, and I think we are ready.
All right, good luck to the team.
Short and simple. Short and simple.
All right, well, this is going to be a tall task here without a doubt for both of these teams, but they know the challenge is at stake here for the both.
Yeah, and I mean, that is really the question today. He can give an answer, but it only comes down to showing in the server. PaperX is the hardest team for new IGLs to play against because they play like no one else. You can prepare for how their util combos work, for the plays the players make, but they will take risks that no one else will. And today isn't going to be about that. It's going to be about what fantastic counter strat Eng came up with ahead of time. This has to be about Magnum, about this team, and how one of the youngest rosters we have here can adapt to the most chaotic team, the hardest team to play for the first time in VCT.
Yeah, exactly. And there's many answers that you can give to this question, right? Are we going to give them the space? Are we going to fight them? Are we going to give that chaos a little bit more? If you just look at the compositions, you might think that KC is the kind of team that is going to fight fire with fire, right?
Sure,
but
sure.
when you see them play, you see a different kind. You see that they interpret the utility in a different way.
Communication analysis
for them to have different outcomes. So I'm really looking forward to see what Magnum is able to do.
Okay.
All right, well, we got a few more seconds before we toss it to the map, so I want to get real quick predictions. We haven't really done this in a while, so how are you guys feeling? PaperX, KC, Mimi?
I mean, I think KC will win this match, but I think it has to come down to the adaptation. I think that their map pool is stronger. They tend to have better wins. PaperX is still playing a lot of comps that are They're still figuring themselves out. But there's a real chance PaperX win. However, the necessity is they need to be playing like the second half of Split last night. If they can continue that energy, this is going to be a damn hard game for KC.
Hear me out. We're in Madrid. I cannot see this going any other way. KC has to make it onto the playoffs to say the very least. We already have Genji there. I think
अरे स्ट्रेटजी होती है जो कम वो वाली पावर वाली टीम होती है ना उसको सपोर्ट करो वरना अगर पॉपुलर है उनको ही सपोर्ट करोगे तो फिर वो वन साइडेड नहीं हो जाएगा इसलिए ये स्ट्रेटजी है इन लोगों की केसी को बोलते हैं कैसे ही जीतनी चाहिए केसी को मतलब दे रहा हूँ केसी पे दबाव डाल रहे हैं मतलब बोल रहे हैं कि केसी जीते ये वो बट ओरिजिनली आपको पता है PRX इज द पावरफुल टीम देख रहे हो दोनों ने कैसी बोला भाई समझो यार थोड़ा ट्रिक्स एंड ट्रिप्स
All right, welcome to match presented by Omen for match 2 of the day. Based on the draw order, KC, you are higher seed. Would you like Team A or Team B?
Team B.
Team B. So PRX, you'll be Team A, and we will start with your first ban.
Icebox.
Icebox.
Let's go. Icebox देखूंगा मैं.
Ban Sunset. Map number 1 from PRX.
अरे ban sorry यार कल के जैसा ही हो गया मेरा. कि ban करना है.
Defense.
And map number 2.
Lotus.
Side on Lotus.
Attack.
Next set of bans starting with PaperX, you have Ascent.
मैं भूल जाता हूँ select नहीं होता मेरा ban होता.
Ban Split. Your ban, you have Ascent and Breeze.
Ban Breeze.
Ban Breeze. Map number 3 by default is going to be Ascent. PaperX, side on Ascent.
Attack.
Play attack.
Attack.
Good luck to you both.
अरे पहला ban होता है यार मैं भी noob हूँ क्या उसने बोला ban Icebox बैन कर दिया लेट्स गो अभी गाना आएगा आ गया गाना आया भाई ये गाना ढूंढो ना कहीं पे ये बनी लेके आया हो टीट वाला बना नहीं था वो ये ब्रूस ली का भाई कौन है मेरे को अभी लग रहा है कुंफू कराटे करके पीट देगा सबको
Both teams here looking to move past them.
Guys, this
in
pal
this
का इंतजार था.
competition, this is going to be a tough game through and through. For PaperX, they're a squad that really rides the momentum of the moment. But for KC, for Carmine Core, is it about being drilled, the structure, the plan of attack that they have
तैयार हो
here,
दोस्तों.
whether or not PaperX will just blow the whole thing up.
Carmine Core, they've been tested before, but this is going to be something very different, something they've
भाई ये
never
बनी भी सुन रहा है, बनी भी
experienced
सुन रहा है.
in EMEA. This
बनी
is the
सुन
day
रहा
where they have to figure out if they can adapt to a team like PaperX.
We were thinking and saying that 2024 might be the year
4
for
second
the
बोल रहा है, आज तो
rookies.
सबको फेल
Well,
दूंगा.
KC should be the one trying to prove that. Of course, we also have a new face on PaperX, but we have known them for a very, very long time. People are also saying a tournament without Fnatic, without NRG, without all of those heavy hitters, especially DRX. Yes, exactly. When is going to be PaperX's moment to lift the trophy?
That's a great question
वो
because
बोल रहा
it's
है
been some time. Remember, this is a squad.
4 second की मैं 10 में से 6 जैसा खेल रहा हूँ अभी.
They have had
तब वो
so many
जब
great
10 में से 10 खेलेगा.
opportunities in their career here,
फिर
but
क्या
get
होगा?
Monnier a trophy lift for this team to have that moment.
Guys, इतना खतरनाक इम्प्रूव कैसे करें कि 4 second जैसा गेम प्ले हो जाए.
Stepping up, filling those shoes,
this guy is
bringing
too
this
good.
PaperX squad back to those finals they've
ऐसा
made.
4 second बोलना चाहिए.
But let's talk about the map, Vito, because I think this is where it gets really interesting. Both these teams play very off-kilter comps. You're not going to see...
Guys, grinding चालू है अपनी, okay?
Head of the default comps. We always
BCT मास्टर
get
खत्म,
in a
अपनी
match
grinding
like this.
start.
We're starting on Bind, and last time PaperX played this, they lost this map. But I actually liked a lot of the things they were showing with this Harbor Raze composition, with Arena in there too. I think they have really creative ways of executing the site and of kind of pathing their way around and setting up their Raze player on the dive.
So here's the thing, right? I do disagree with one part. I was not very
Bind
surprised
is
because
there.
I like the Harbor, I like the intention, you know, of doing something different. To me, the Reyna was very lackluster.
Sure.
Like, I did not understand the final point onto why you would choose Reyna above something else.
But you did. That was a something.
4 second की sense पता है किसी को? 0.7.
But the thing is, you
800
don't
DPS.
understand why they choose Serena until something has a
Danger.
He has had a very slow tournament up until those last 2 maps
Very
yesterday.
fast NC bro, very
I think
fast.
It's not the optimal pick, but if something is
तेरे
fine
भाई
like
के
it was last
0.55.
night, it is a
Very slow
dangerous
as
pick for
compared to
KC to go up against. Things for this team to
per
watch
second.
out for is how aggressive PaperX is with these fast site hits. If you're playing on the site, if you're playing backside A,
But
you are
per
going
second,
to get ran
और
over.
बहुत
For
कम
me,
करता है
when
भाई.
we're looking at KC, this
And
is going to
me?
be about taking
To
extremity
me?
control towards showers
कभी
and
ना मैं
long
जीत ही
and
नहीं
playing
सकता.
off-site to be able to flood retake.
Exactly, it's the shower controls that in the previous match through
Bind
PaperX
की
on
सारी tips and trick ले
they
लेंगे
were
इधर
not
से.
able to regain that space, and I think that this composition may have a lot of holes. Carmine Core and specifically Martin has to be the one finding those holes and actually taking advantage of the situation.
We talk so much about these PaperX individuals, but the 2 youngsters, Nere and Martin, have been electric in Madrid thus far. If they can keep that up, if they can compete with PaperX, there's no doubt.
PaperX जैसे आ रही है कोच की एक्सप्रेशन देखना.
Time for our final
मतलब
match
जब
of the Swiss
थोड़ी सी ऊपर
stage
नीचे
and
होगी
find
तब.
out who will be
हारना नहीं, हारना
remaining
नहीं.
in the playoffs. This is going to be a game with a lot of fireworks.
Guys,
So I
ऑफिस
think
को
we're gonna
छुट्टी
need to
हो
bring
जाती तो
out the
मजा आ
big
जाता
guns.
यार.
We got Pansy and IPOC.
That's incredibly kind of you, GB. But yeah, this game itself, to me, Mike, is feeling like a question of form. We've seen these teams look hot. We've seen them look pretty cold at times. Where do you stand on this matter?
I mean, it's a really interesting matchup in terms of kind of the style of both these, right? Without a Fnatic of old, without an EDG of last year, this is the chaos meets structure, really. The best. We're probably going to get it at this sort of at this event.
Technical difficulty.
Straight into the pistol round here. Martin, typical position here. Going to take a peek on the shore. Something a mind freak here, seemingly aware of the possibility.
अच्छा अपना वो था ना loading इसलिए.
Afraid to
मैंने
particularly
कहा इतनी देर में बंद कर दिया.
show presence, so that's going to be that card removed from the natural start. But again, this to me is just purely I have to wait and see what we see from these two teams, which sounds silly, right? It almost sounds like obviously that's what we're going to do, but because there's been such disparity in the way they've looked leading up to this point.
And also taking into account yesterday's performance, right?
Yes, of course.
It's the old, if you can carry that momentum across to today.
Well, I mean, then you've summoned the PaperX of old, right? Or the one that strikes fear into every team's hearts because they are hard to handle. And it looks like Shin's going to be the one to have to try and deal with it. Going to try and depend a little on Magnum too, but he's been already forced away. Pressure on the side. There's Monye there. Shin's gone down. The site is somewhat under PRX's hands. Can they confirm it though? Can they get that plant down with any threat? Looks good so far, focusing mostly towards elbow to gain that control. Plants in, time's on their side, but there is presence on long here.
Martin पिलेगा अभी.
Comes through two towards long, one still outside Martin here outside hookah, and actually Mindfreak going walkabouts here. Be punished for that.
Mindfreak बेटा मस्ती नहीं.
Giving up a lot of space here, but PaperX can't really find it. Thomas, he's already on the defuse.
Yeah, they need to get a challenge on that, and they do. Forsaken knows what he's up against, trying to do the damage, and Monye is firing off today. That's what you want to be seeing as well. Magnum, the last one alive, trying to play it back in from CT, but they didn't achieve half on the defuse earlier. A tap on the spike will confirm he's no longer on it. Something with that wide swing.
Let's go.
PaperX,
swing to swing. Sandra, wide swing.
And really, with this flank coming through the TP, I think maybe Carmine are thinking there's two, potentially three bodies. I mean, with a lack of information, and Magnum taking such a deep position, there's some real questions about exactly what's going on.
Oh, क्या कूद रहा है Monye?
And one of the caveats to me is Monye. Now, we've seen his performance not quite to the highest echelons yet. He's had some very good games when activated, but I mean, we all noted Benji Fishy calling him out, and then what happened. But regardless, good to see him off to a very strong start. And Mindfreak, Farman, read it well. Dealing with Magnum.
Bulldog तो है.
And Martin.
कल से Bulldog चालू.
Healing over here. Just going to be going through the motions. They've already done a great deal of damage. They don't need to particularly over-commit anywhere. Just need to be a little careful on the way back in case anyone's trying to fill that space behind them after the contact towards B long.
Mindfreak does actually give it up here. Narrate going to be played in on the Frank.
Flank आ रहा है.
Opportunity to maybe apply some pressure. Taking the long way around though. PaperX will get a clean plant.
मेरिट भाई आ रहा है 500 सालों के बाद और ये गया.
Any of those potentials could come in. Nah, it's
Mindfreak एस ले सकता है वैसे.
Last two, not really entertaining much of an attempt. So Shin and Tomasi going to have to just kind of accept.
ये flawless हो रहा है मेरे को लग रहा है.
But again, for PaperX, this is good.
या फिर वो सेव कर लेंगे.
In the second round,
सेव
they
क्या
should
करेंगे?
keep
उनके पास
all
कुछ
those
है ही नहीं.
weapons standing, especially that prized possession in the hands of something.
मेरे guns नहीं
Key
देखे मुझे.
component to them going forward. And again, you're going to have the likes of that. Bulldog still in play as well. A couple of little bits and pieces. Going to really bolster that going into the bonus.
भाई ये लोग यहीं पे मर जाएंगे मेरे को लग रहा है.
A good start. Cool, calm, collected. No threats found here.
Kill नहीं देंगे मर जाएंगे ऐसा.
Just to ensure none of those orbs could have been farmed on them.
Carry across all this weaponry as well, so I think round 3 very interesting for PaperX. Only really Martin will progress towards the ultimate. See whether or not they're going to take a proactive approach here to the defense, take the fight to PaperX.
Even the sentence.
A tall order, yeah.
Like, as soon as you say it, it's like, whoa. I want to see if they're up to something with that bonus as well. Do they have something in mind? I hate the fact that there's a player called something because it makes me constantly say it. It's like if he cast big, oh well, okay, at least he's getting kills with it. And Narrate's just been removed. He got to look at this round and then it was just taken away. Unlucky. And now the sight hit comes in off the back. Already big pressure from Monye. Gap closing perfectly to Massey. Just massacred. That's perfect.
Let's go, bhai.
Monye gets the upgrade, sits back towards showers. Job done. Those two will need to be saving here. There's no two questions about it.
Question, I guess, if Monye can carry that form across to today, that explosiveness.
वो लोग सेव कर लेंगे भाई.
For sure.
सेव करेंगे नहीं आ रहे वो लोग.
Only 2 left. Obviously, Shin and Martin going to give this one up.
आ गया?
Device face.
A bit of a something
मैं भी
stunned.
बोल रहा हूँ कि आ गए?
Oh, you love to see it.
Another moment where you just wish you had comms.
I know, wouldn't it be great? Man.
That was a nudge to production. We can't see.
You're bold. But yeah, we'll pray. Does Carmine Core get to keep these rifles? I think they will. Definitely no one close enough towards Martin, but curious if Shin was maybe going to get a challenge on that, but no. All good, no harm, no foul. But for PaperX, look at this gap coming from Monye. The fact he gets away with this, and there was no awareness coming out from Magnum there, just seemingly swept aside by that.
देख रहे हो?
That's the audio we're missing.
Look, we're not allowed fun. All right, no fun allowed. How dare you request it? Oh, it's broken the back of Carmine Core. And if you're the Carmine Core fans out there, right, you're kind of hoping that they came out with a strong start. Maybe correct a little bit, maybe that confidence deficit they would have been playing with after being kind of pushed around. A lot of people saying they've been performing under expectation, which I think is a fair critique. Because there was such high hopes for this team coming out of kickoff, and they looked exceptional, but hasn't quite lived up to that. And again, the pace is unrelenting. Look at this, Monye and something instantly dominating the space, and it's going to force them to respect this. I would say Magnum is a little behind enemy lines, but can he make anything of it?
पर मैग्नम कर सकता है, हल्का सा डैमेज कर सकता है.
Sheriff in hand here. Oh yeah, will land.
They going? Yeah, the gap closing now. Monye going to be put to test, put to task. Oh, that's rough. Blinded, and Monye just popping off. Yeah,
let's go, bhai.
Spotting right there. Over towards Shybox. This guy's on for it. He's absolutely on the money today.
Let's go. By Monye.
Any questions you
danger,
have?
Danger.
Opening 5 rounds here. Definitely a statement being sent. Carmine Core.
By रिप्ले दे दो ये पहला इसको टैकल कर दिया, इसको पेल दिया.
And you're absolutely right, isn't it? You're almost seething if you're thinking about Heretics. Could you have not?
Danger मारा भाई,
danger. A little bit,
yeah. Just relax, be humble. Be like the fans on Twitter. Be, you know, how dare you give it? You know.
Nilzinho hate club has just grown exponentially.
Something on off. Something on off.
Well, let's see. Does I think it's Martin there on the other side? Yep. Lovely early protocols. Again, we often kind of compliment Carmine Core and other teams with that, you know, the protocol list, and oh, you've got Eng in there, you know, you've really got, you know, those glimmers of Gambit, all of that.
उन लोग को लग रहा है B है, but B नहीं है.
Yeah, but they're a little bit more simplistic at times in the way they approach the game. Obviously, mechanically is their high point, but they're still very diligent about any of these clears, always very heads up in their work.
That's the definition of thriving.
अभी boom bomb घुसेंगे.
To create it and benefit from it. A few other teams have. Slow down here at least by the poison orb. Snakebite to follow up. Right there. Monye chomping at the bit. Taking a very aggressive angle here.
Well, he's had Magnum's number. This time it's Forsaken, but it could have been either. He's absolutely been dominating this site. Now they're going to try and play in a little bit mid-tempo almost. Carmine Core trying to take a little bit of space back here, but there's going to be no reason to fear them. They've been sweeping them every time.
Monye जा रहा है, मार रहा है. 4 seconds भैया, very good.
You can't get away from him everywhere they go. It's only Shin to fight back so far, and even then, just about converting onto Monye, but it's the back lines. There's still something with that operator. Still willing to take a chance. Does Martin get any more play off this? Couple flashes, but not a lot of time. One close, yeah, Forsaken not even going to let him get off that spike.
4 seconds, 4 seconds.
VaporX in full form here, Mike, and Carmine Core don't have an answer.
No, expecting a timeout pretty
भाई
soon.
ये लोग का अगर demotivate हो गए तो फिर तो नहीं खेल पाएंगे. वो उन लोग का पता है ना लाउड के सामने क्या हो गया. EDG का.
One of the worst things you can do is give them freedom, give them space to, you know, do what Monye's doing here. Take really aggro pathing with your satchels, get up in the faces. And bring the fight to you. It's very hard to sit back and play retake versus a team like PaperX. Because they always convert this space.
इनका टाइम आउट आ चुका है. केसी का टाइम आउट आ चुका है.
There's very few options, to be honest with you, other than fight fire with fire.
Yeah, it is that choice, isn't it? Okay, we can sit super deep, play full retake, but
PaperX will
keep
pushing.
You
give them backside, they go spawn, they go
ऐसा नहीं बोल सकते ये लोग फिर बूम बम टाइम आउट के बाद भी बूम मारेंगे तो समझ रहे हो.
Some part of it, but it's easier said than
but
done.
थोड़ा लग रहा है powerful तो है.
Even bigger experience.
Obviously guys, W
A lot of
gameplay.
people, and we talk bigger picture, Mike, while we're in this timeout.
हल्का सा प्रेशर होता है वो लोग किसी खेल रहे हैं.
You know, and how do they fare in this? You can't turn that gaze away from PaperX either, because they're the ones who got to, you know,
TRX bhai,
they're one of
dangerous
the gods at this tournament. They've still held on. Yes, there's been some roster changes. That's not a surprise. But still, they have that potential, and it scares me because round by round and kill by kill, I feel like we're getting
round by round and kill by kill,
almost untouchable.
यार मेरे को आज गेम खेलना था यार.
Certainly not touching it right now.
Yeah.
But PRX का मैच है तो देखना पड़ेगा ना bro. फिर ऐसे कैसे चलेगा? बट इम्प्रूव करना है अपने को डेंजर मैं बहुत मोटिवेट हो रहा हूँ इससे VCT से
coming online here for Carmine Court.
My word is stumbling
on his, but away from the Seekers. Showstopper around the corner as well, potentially.
जाने
Next buy round for KC.
दुश्मनों को यहाँ पे पेल देंगे
It's looking to
अरे ये तोता
explore towards B.
बाइंड में कर दिया क्या सॉरी बाइंड से ब्रीज कर दिया क्या
Going to get cancelled out. Yeah, he's cancelled out himself here.
B करते हैं B का एग्जीक्यूशन देखते हैं
for PaperX.
Different site too. We've seen them hammering that A side. A little bit of the stack was in play. Nice from Shin, but
4 second को लेके गया
just the teeth marks left in the corpse.
ए समथिंग पीछे देख रहे
4 apiece. A little bit of a pause here. Maybe trying to identify where some of these players may be. They've got to have a good
idea.
idea.
They're taking the TP, right?
What was that?
Something 1 HP पे था
They're just in full troll mode here in this anti-eco. Left one posted up here, Mindfreak. Try and police these weapons. I mean, it's an operator, so you know KC are going to want to narrate the first to identify Mindfreak's position. Yeah, KC now.
They're running. They're just
thinking better of it.
उनको पता है
the guy's the Iceman. You know what I mean? You don't mess with that kid. He's just wild. But at this point, you're looking for silver linings and small bonuses. And Magnum has connected towards Divide, but actually going for the Seekers too. They're really committing on this one. Flash's turn. Something's got
found one.
A little bit of a heal here, so ult's going to come in, but they're going to run low on time. Keep your mind towards Monnier as well. Still in the case, still in the mix. He has been a monster so far.
But they didn't know where it was.
He's been outdone.
Anti कह सकते हैं anti होता है anti.
KC were looking towards showers.
They had no
Capital
idea.
N and capital T दोनों के दोनों capital.
Daylight robbery on that one.
Even at that moment,
योरू मस्त मार गया रे उसका.
Seekers from Magnum, but KC
Trade हो गया but
back into this retake.
Hey, they needed that, Mike.
Stop the momentum.
योरू भाई योरू.
Potentially, I mean, Martin full commits.
Martin तो है.
Now, yeah, Tomazzi, I don't know. Maybe the position wasn't relayed.
Let's go.
Looking towards bench and showers here.
खुश होने दो हल्का सा खुश होने दो उनको. हल्का सा खुश होने दो इनको.
Right, getting aggressive here.
One sided नहीं लगना चाहिए game.
Plenty down here.
Okay, you said it before. Fight fire with fire, and they are setting
Monnier गया.
ablaze.
Mindfreak गया.
Martin willing to challenge. They're getting down and dirty. Something has quelled some of that
भाई
aggression.
ये round थोड़ा danger नहीं हो गया?
Martin, but still they have
ये लोग भी W करने लगे क्या?
the first time in what feels like forever.
Fast flank coming through as well. You can see already progress outside of hookah. Paperwork's got to be conscious of that now.
चल पीक ले.
Clearing with both of them. That was fortunate not to be a collat at that point. Very nearby. Narrate needs to be careful because they've already slipped a little ahead. He might have heard Forsaken and he definitely knows someone's close by. So maybe trying to evade that.
What?
Did he?
He just stepped out of the cove.
Oh god, a device right here. They've got no idea.
That's done. Quick break.
कुछ ज़्यादा danger नहीं मार दिया ये.
And play PaperX in their own game, but they are damn good at it themselves. And there was just some audacious moments in that.
एक बंदा danger मार रहा है.
It's one of those moments when Narrate's probably thinking, yeah, it'd be crazy if this guy just walks out of his own smoke or cove or whatever it is.
इसका पपलू इसको देखे बिना चला गया. इसके सारे ये दोनों लोग पीक ले. इसमें से एक का पोपट
unable to get traded because of the dismiss. But Monnier facing the showstopper.
इसलिए guys, don't trust the puploos. Okay. Even if you are gecko, you are raised.
You can do it once, you're going to be able to do it twice. Something now holding for this aggression. You can see him chomping.
मार रहे. अरे.
Anti. That was bold the whole
Small
time.
anti लिखूंगा इसके लिए
Again,
मैं.
this is welcome to deathmatch.
Yeah.
Welcome. This is now just.
This is the sort of thing that you want to see. You
Welcome
don't want to see
to
them lose an opening duel and then back up and look to absorb a site here. That's just not going to work versus PaperX. If they're allowed to execute onto you, I mean, Mindfreak's going to find himself a wide open A site here. The penny,
एक दोनों ने गवा चुके guys.
After Tomazzi's challenge, again, you can't really fault it.
एक खाली है अपने लिए.
Tomazzi's posted up, almost posturing a little bit that, yeah, we're going to fight for this site.
Full control में अभी. Full control है.
They're not willing to show any respect.
Spike plant.
Molly here, orbital strike, showstopper,
plenty
of post-plant possibilities here.
Bind raise is equal to bidim bidim.
Yeah, Mindfreak's
Oh, padi हुई इधर.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean, he
मेरा.
dropped the smoke. He's back on it now.
Yeah.
He's going to look to orbital strike just for the dog.
अरे.
He's cooked it.
Not ideal in that, and now Forsaken gonna play forward. Paper X still starting to thrive, coming alive. Divine and Forsaken in unison. Send them back in. Carmine Court are trying.
भाई ये मेरे को वन साइडेड नहीं लग रहा. ये मेरे को विनर ही लग रहे हैं 4 सेकंड और वो लोग. PRX ऑलरेडी विनर ऐसा लग रहा है मेरे को.
Fortunately here now, I have a lot of scoreboard pressure in this first half, a 6-round deficit.
ब्रोंज का बड़ी गाइस.
Too much of a switch up
पता चलेगा मेरे को ब्रोंज के बड़ी में पावर है.
Still seemingly a decent read on the early round. Able to punish this aggression down A short time and time again.
Power of bronze body.
They've got to change this scoreline somehow. Otherwise, Carmine Core, their backs
Arre,
will be
open
breaking
uthai
from the
kya?
heavy heart just looking at that scoreboard. It's brutal to play against.
Open नहीं उठाए.
Mentally, because you're trying to pick yourself up to be confident, take challenges against a team who are running you down. And again, a little bit of variation coming out from Paper X here, looking at trying to adjust towards that B side, or at least an early indication of
Long
it.
से पोपट किया इधर तक.
TP committed to, it looks like. Actually, no. Going to decide to back away.
Now they're almost faking that they've rotated, creating all this pressure, dumping all this util, but all it is a switch up towards B long. But Magnum's going to sniff it out.
That was good information there in the Seekers, but they are going to go on this. I'm waiting to see Monnier dive in here. They've got to know that Tomasi is still around as well. You can see the Lears there. Martin has found Mindfree, but they've got the site control. You can already see they've started to really place their banner on this site. Look for the flanks, look for the pressure on the back lines. We need that plant to come in for at least a little bit of safety for Paper X, which they've got right about now. 4v5, it gets dicey.
Three coming through hookah.
Going to invest that little bit of utility to try and keep them further
Look
away.
at the reflank though. Look at Device's position.
That could be huge.
He's got to get there quick though.
Timing, can something hold them back? Can he buy a couple of seconds here? That's all he needs, a couple of seconds. Device done so well. He does catch Shin. Forsaken then called in. It is just methodical in approach. It's a 2v2, but look at the HP. The walk-in wounded, limping towards the side. It's just Magnum left alive, and that is just not going to work out. Paper X, just outstanding right now. This is them in final full
Point.
They have plans on plan. I mean, it's almost all.
But time out ले लो, time. Hello, कैसी? Time out ले लो, bro. Hello.
Yeah.
Paper X know they have to be explosive. Capitalize on that timing. Get ahead of the rotation of KC. Again, you can't even really fault. You look at the minimap here, and when Paper X freeze on this first wave, the first pressure out towards hookah, KC are immediately rotating. They know that Paper X are trying to find these timings. I think now Paper X starting to play with that a little bit.
Subverting
expectations. It's the pressure now. KC are so desperate to get a round win up. They want to be so active around the map that they create these holes themselves.
This is that experience in play again. You know, we can give Eng all the credit in the world.
Paper X have done this to countless teams. Countless
Best
teams.
in the world through errors at this point. Keep in mind, this isn't just a team that's only done it once.
पता नहीं रहा बाबा, पता नहीं. But जो भी है danger है भाई, danger है.
No, this is a historic team who's been able to do this over a variety of errors.
Look at it now. Shin's smoked
Look
down
at
long.
it. Look what they've done
भाई
to
देख
him.
रहे हो? अभी फटा फट सब लोग घुसेंगे. अरे
might have a mystery here.
Hello.
There we go. This could be it, but they've got to make it work with very little. Martin's
BG
got
जा रहे हो?
spots one, lets him cross. This is huge.
The
discipline is here, but can he drop the bodies? He can. That's two. A third needed. Not going to get it.
Martin
they still
good.
have a
Martin
chance
is
in
anti.
Paper X.
Capital
They're
anti.
pistols. What is going on? Something just
भाई
flew.
round जीत गए वो लोग.
got a satchel kill. What the hell just happened?
भाई मैंने 4 सेकंड को फोन करके बोलना था कि भाई तेरे को बी जाना है भाई.
Something seemingly thinking he has double the range with a shorty. Very bizarre. Just after crediting them, this is a total misread of the situation. KC finally able to actually win out in one of those scenarios that wasn't really suiting them up until now.
अच्छा उन लोग को थोड़ा जीतने दे रहे, वन साइडेड ना लगे ऐसा वैसा. ओके 4 सेकंड से बात हो चुकी है, थोड़ा जीतने देने हैं उनको.
Operator on, I believe either side. Yeah, Narrate's got his. Something. Gonna go for it too.
उन लोग को ऐसा ना लगे कि हम नहीं खेल रहे ऐसा.
Flux, aren't we? Things are a little bit up in the air. Are they going for those double fakes again? Are they just going to be pausing after taking maybe a little bit of space?
Motivation मिले उनको भी.
Lots of question marks. This is going to put Magnum through the ringer. And already Norate gonna find something, so that's his opposing number basically removed, but the bulk of the hit is coming this way.
So Tomazi didn't actually catch the stun there. Will result in the pick coming out in response. Big ultimate to draw out this early on. Tomazi did actually take some damage there.
He's gotta be careful.
Among that exchange. Do have a third member here. Norate has come across with the operator just to hold elbow, yeah.
There.
Problem for Shin. I don't think he's going to take too much damage here and actually rewarded.
Lassie still trying to keep his head down. A little bit of spam, a little bit of a shot going astray is going to at least drop the pit for them. That's a plant now. Mind freak and divide. Ult going to be invested from Martin. He's going to try and lead the way. Can he spot these players out? Did he see Mind Freak slip towards elbow? That's the question, because he can try and divide and conquer. The Flash has said they know it. This is good from Carmine Corp, but can they handle him? Yes! Ult upon ult, they are investing everything. Now divide in a 1v3. Flash still with Martin. That's about it. Yeah, that's clean from Martin. He'll be happy with that. And they give themselves a window to work with Mike. It's not much, but it's there.
Like I said, you come out of this with an 8-4. Feels like a bit of a miracle with how this half kicked off.
Yeah.
KC with a course correction towards the end of this first half. I mean, look at the timeline here. Very, very quick response here from PaperX to apply this pressure towards Hookah, but it's the Viper's bit that really slows them down. Forces PaperX to reconsider their approach. And a crucial 4K from Norate. Really
बहुत अच्छा मारा रे, बहुत अच्छा मारा.
So far here in Madrid, 4KC.
मैं दूध पी लेता हूँ, पावर रेंजर आ जाएगा उसको, पावर आ जाएगा.
For an early crunch towards A. PaperX maybe waiting for that burst hit. Yep, there it is. Something they depended on before. Going back to it again, it was brutal. You saw it before, Monnier really ran rampant, but it was actually Magnum this time to hold him back. This is better, but he's not going to be alone. Norate's trying to close the gap a little here. Might deny Forsaken, he does. Yeah. Good work. Boombot to follow, but there is a squad of 3 staring down. Cove is keeping them safe. Another satchel, another denial. Rotations are coming in. This is great.
भाई वो बोल रहा है मेरे को प्लांट तो करने दो यार.
Again from that capability before.
वो बोल रहा है मैं साइट नहीं जा रहा. साइट चेंज. 3 बार प्लांट किया, 3 बार रोक दिया.
Molly will go down. That will cut off any sort of pressure coming back through from spawn here.
He's got to, right? We've seen this.
Space बनाने वाला कोई है नहीं. रहना अपना लो है.
So conscious.
Spectator के हाथ में. और आ चुके सब अंदर.
Oh, fight on CT though. Not going to be able to get the follow options there. That is control from Divine.
ऐसा मत मारो रे, please.
Delivers bullet after bullet perfectly. And now the problems for the final 2, trying to play it back towards the site. Team looking to try and take control of that operator, look through, see if he can spot someone out, but again, they're playing deep, they're going to make him work for it. Spots something over towards Long, spots Divide, they've seen both of the players. Can they close down on them though? Swing ahead. I mean, it's PaperX and apparently Norate can see you just fine.
समझ में है, मेरे को समझ में आ गया. स्ट्रेटेजिक गेम प्ले था ये, थ्रू था PaperX का. Still 9, समझ रहे हो?
No real possibility for him to get
9-3 ना हो इसलिए.
A beautiful recovery. You hate to say that at an 8-4 scoreline,
easy,
but a recovery nonetheless for Carmine Corp.
मस्त मार रहे रे, मस्त मार रहे. KC is good.
Here for PaperX.
KC is good.
The second half.
Narrate मार रहा है. Narrate
that
मार.
Same sort of aggression once again, Lauren.
अरे ये क्या था?
Can they keep that tempo up? Carmine Corp scraping together those 4 critical rounds. Is it going to be enough?
That is the question that is on our minds, because it started off quite nicely for PaperX as they were able to put a sizable amount of rounds together, but this actually takes us to our Ryzen high-speed moment of this particular half. This one,
first round जिसमें मोनेट हो गया था,
really pick up where he left off yesterday.
मेरे को पता है यार, मैं एनालिसिस नहीं हो रहा, बस मेरे को खेलना नहीं आता बस.
Hits work with this harbor wall pathing one way, and Manette having a lot of different variants on how he paths into this site. They were really punishing KC early on. A big mistake to make is wanting to play back site to be able to flood back in against a team like this, so you can fight them while they're execing. But with with this interesting pathing and the way that PaperX plays with timings, that's almost impossible to do. So as this half developed, we started to see, I think, some good adaptation from KC, but it was only towards the end that they really figured it out, and this guy was such a big problem to solving that.
Yeah, exactly. Time and time again. It looks like we're going to talk about Monia every single day, but he deserves it. And I think that play was also a very, very good example. Low buy, you know, because it's a bonus. You have the ability to float them. That's exactly what you need to do on the side of KC. By the way, I was saying the Reyna not completely sold, and I forgot for 1 second that it is something, and he only needs to be on the operator. So of course, I'm still looking at him for this defense side because of the reason why you would play Reyna is to deny those traits potentially when you have the operator. If he has the same effect that he has in other maps, he's a very big threat.
It was a tough half for KC, but they've rallied at least 4. If they can win this pistol round, build some momentum on this half, they can be strong. Their comp is really good at fighting for those extremities and having really fast rotations with the Yoru. They're comfortable here. They have their confidence now. This should be a much closer half.
Yeah, I see a KC that has woken up a little bit. I'm sure these fans are definitely adding to that momentum, but let's see if PaperX quells the fire. We're going to send it back over to Pansy and Hypoc.
8-4. PaperX did kick this off with a belting start. No two ways to put it, but Carmine Core have clawed their way back. They found a rhythm, they found a solution, and he got them 4 rounds in pocket. But Mike, do you reckon they can hold on to this?
I mean, it depends really on PaperX's willingness to apply the same sort of pressure here. No, hang on. I thought you were just on the side here for sake of the punish over the top of the truck.
Look at the flank. There's 4
It's so fast.
Tomasi's got to have heard. Yeah, he's heard all of this. He's just trying to keep his head down, trying not to be spotted. Oh no, he's just eating the parrot.
He beat into the lid.
Oh, it's the lid.
Pichu.
Oh no, PaperX sweep through them in the blink of an eye.
भाई राउंड खत्म कब हो गया मेरे को पता नहीं चला
Absolutely shut down.
मैं तो देख रहा है पीछे से एक आ रहा है
Run it back for me one time because what on earth?
भाई कुछ ज्यादा डेंजरस मार रहे हैं लोग मेरी बुद्धि के ऊपर से मार दिया क्या
stays alive long enough where this 4-man flank. I mean, isn't really necessary. It's OTT if anything.
Yeah.
इसने इसको मारा उसने इसको मारा इसने इसको मारा और इसने इसको मारा
Just peeks out. Device still back here because he's stopped through. The Trailblazer comes through, opens up the first 3 players of PaperX to come in. Tomazi just peeks out of the wrong second.
Got a force coming through. Something. Oh, the
nice,
charge.
something nice.
Devastating. I know there's going to be more pressure, but he's down low, so he's got to be a little bit careful on the HP. Martin is already back by his side, but something still doing damage. Gets the heal off and goes in for more. Carmine Core just about staying alive in this. Give themselves just a little bit of safety to get a plant.
Flank once again from short. You see it's been pinged out here. The
ये राउंड उनका है मेरे को लग रहा है
Magnum reflanking it. Monia, it doesn't catch them though. Ahead of the smoke falling.
This timing could be.
तेरे पीछे
Oh, yeah, that's Monia dead. There's nothing he could have done. Mind freak now. Sitting pretty. What can you do against 3? 2 towards Lamps. There's too many bodies there. Carmine Core. There we go. Finding a little bit of an answer there for themselves, but I was a bit worried that, honestly, something's judge was going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's scrappy as anything to kick this off.
4 second भाई बहुत खराब मारे
range he thinks he has with shotguns. We're jumping out here trying to find another kill. A round 2 flip here for KC.
क्या खेल रहे हो तुम लोग यार क्या खेल रहे हो कोच भाई इनका एक राउंड हारते तो भाई पूरा डीमोटिवेट से अंदर हो जाता है पूरा वो हो जाता है यार ट्रिगर हो जाता है अंदर से मर जाता है
Oh dear. Oh.
Something.
बच्चा. Oh no.
मस्ती कर रहा है something boss.
It's fine. They've got 2 vans.
So yeah, massive equipment advantage here.
Yep.
Monia and Forsaken understand the shotgun range a little better than something.
He's just ambitious. He's just a little ambitious.
You can't fault ambition.
Nice. There you go. Now there's the pause because you can see the
kind of stunned here, yeah.
They're just like, what the hell's gone on? Because they don't have a beat on the rest of the map either, right? Like the A site's completely unknown. There could be a flank on the way. They have no clue.
Well, these are the sort of compositions that this sort of playstyle from PaperX does run rampant. With no sentinel, there's so many question marks.
The Bucky. How does one feel about the Bucky?
I mean, if they're playing in long, they know to try and avoid the danger zone here, but Monyet, chance to make something happen potentially here. I mean, he's inside the smoke. He's got the paint shell out. You can deny the plant at least.
I just feel like something's going wrong. I've just got a weird feeling.
Tomasi eats that.
Center of tube, heal considered, but they don't really have the foundations for. Oh god!
Woo!
No! The Bucky! Monier's on the side. Surely not. Shin and Magnum, please. What's going on? Monnier isn't going to get away with this. Nah, I'm not going to do it. Magnum there grips hold of the round.
Thank God the right click of the Bucky is useless now because Shin's down at 8 HP.
Bucky को delete कर दोगे अभी से भाई.
There's a timeline where those right clicks are one-shotting Magnum.
Beaming him. We're good. This is fine. Something is such a nuisance as well. You can see him just playing out perfectly.
The timing of this first kill as well.
Nice from Magnum. Oh, done to him.
उसकी आधी screen पे पूरा map है.
But we do see the buy coming out now. It's going to be huge.
Seeker's available here for Carmine. Other side of things, something. Let's have his ultimate. Early showers control for KC. We're expecting more aggression. I mean, 30 seconds in, seems like it's going to come, and Devi is the one with the punish here.
Martin was able to scrape by with one, but the pressure isn't just on one side of the map, it's everywhere.
Oh my god! Oh, I feed a line now.
Read है भाई, read है. Obvious से पता थी उसको.
What the hell is this game? Okay, so Tomasi has space on B, right? He's got them B site.
Problem is Shin has about as much HP
अब
as
ये
he did
तेरे
last
guys
round.
Oh god!
Let's go, mind
trying to make
freak.
something work, make this a little
अब
more
Shin कुछ कर नहीं
comfortable.
पता.
Shin will fall as well. Paper X double digits now.
3 of them left with rifles. They can bolster that buy around it as best they can, but this crunch, it wasn't just here.
कुछ भी मार रहे,
Again,
कुछ भी मार रहे, कुछ भी मार रहे, मार दूंगा,
Monnier at
सबको
the
मार
same
दूंगा ऐसा
time,
मोनियट को.
taking this space, and it just completely caught off Narrate.
Mind freak ने मस्त मारा नहीं है. Full accuracy ADS is the.
Because again, it's like you see what 3, potentially 4 people on this showers bench. You're like, yeah, B's got to feel a little easier
भाई
right now.
जीत रहे फिर
guys.
भी उसको ऐसा हो रहा है, वो बोला मोनियट तू क्या खेल
It's
रहा है
all
ब्रो, ऐसे नहीं
encompassing
खेलना है.
from Paper X, and their ability to punish defaults like this it's just it's tough to watch, but at the same time, it's beautiful.
Oh, it is. And the question is, how much can Forsaken hold
Look
on
at
to? He's being
Forsaken!
hounded, yeah, because the hunting squad is on the way, but they've
इसी पे
completely
आएगा.
lost the A side. Fortunately, he's going to be trying to keep himself alive. Forsaken!
Let's go!
Outplays Martin perfectly, but Narrate is there to try and keep this in their favor. The spike's in
Trade
CT.
it, trade it.
They didn't check close right.
Tomasi played in off the back of that, now position noted, but that spike's still in CT. They might make a run for it towards B. They don't know yet. They don't know how this fight's going to favor. How does it tip the scales? You still have Monnier in this position. What is this round? And what is that shot?
How's he getting 2?
He shouldn't be
भाई कुछ
getting
भी मार रहा है
He's
ये.
got Seekers to deal with as well.
They don't
Mind
even
freaks here
know.
as well. It's an open
सबके
kill.
स्टार
They
होती है.
have no idea.
कल
Death creeping around the corner as Narrate now called upon. This guy is damn good, but he is going to need a worldy round here. Oh, maybe he's got it. Paint shell back on Devi. Dipping down, has to slip away. And now Devi in the 1v1.
5 bullet and dream. 5 bullet and dream.
Oh, and Devi's got
Let's
it.
go, baby
Devastating.
doll.
After Narrate was this close to getting KC back in this game, but it is going to be
भाई one-sided हो रहा है थोड़ा
cards
सा.
on the board for Paper X.
trading
6-11
blows now back and forth. I mean, this is
भाई ये कुछ भी मार रहा है,
ridiculous.
इधर से मार दूंगा, इधर से मार दूंगा.
And the fact that Mind Freak's in a position here to punish Shin. Narrate,
जहाँ
unfortunately,
पे मस्त
again,
मारा
it feels like this is a free sight.
But क्या कर
So he
सकते हैं?
has the time and the space to get towards long, find a more comfortable angle.
इसकी तो सांसें हाथ में आ गई थी भाई, कोच की.
Heartbreak
But मस्त
for
मारा
Narrate.
रे Sky.
Guy tried.
Who almost made that happen.
Such a volatile.
मेरे को लगता है कि आज मैं पूरा मैच देख पाऊंगा ऑफिस जाने से पहले.
Drifts a little, but there's still stingers
सोने
out,
से
there's
पहले.
still sheriffs, there's still a couple of ults that could potentially come into play.
Seen both teams capitalizing rounds like this. I mean, Monya's here with a
Went
judge.
ऊपर.
Mind Freak's just
Mind Freak ने 3 को मार दिया.
B side.
Oh dear. Can't wait for the replay of that one. What the hell just happened?
It was a Prius moment.
भाई वहाँ पे क्या मार दिया उसने?
Classic.
Well, we might see the end of the round though. Poor Forsaken.
Okay.
Sharp turn. Magnum now left to try and recover. He's got another one. A third on the round for him.
Yeah, it's been enough to call in the ult, right? Like this is enough.
Can he get through? He slipped
through.
They haven't spotted him. They didn't actually see him on the cross.
That's huge. It gives him a little bit of time, right? Like, it's not a lot, but it's enough that he might be able to get a plant down. They have no idea he can be elbowed by them, you know, they have no idea where he is.
कोड तो serious ही होगा ना bro? क्या बात कर रहे हो?
He's take up. He's going to push back towards spawn. And actually, Paperx are splitting. He might have timing here on something.
But does
something better मस्ती नहीं होके? 4 second by low है अपने.
Obviously, he doesn't know about something yet, so he's going to have to just make
मिनटों का situation बहुत बेहतर तरीके से अगर मैं यहाँ पे कुछ बोल सकता हूँ तो मैं बोल दूँगा. लेकिन मैं आपको देखने दूँगा नहीं बोलूँगा कुछ.
Something does have full kit though, so that Lear, he's going to know it now. Which way? You got to gamble. Did something note him? He's looking this way. Magnum, can you clutch this up? Can you do what Narrate couldn't? You got one to the right, one to the left. He can't do it. Forsaken there. Well played by Paperx. That is 12.
Map point on the board.
Trust.
Down to the wire once again. KC still, I mean, scoreline aside, keeping these rounds close.
चलो match point है अब तो आपको बताइए क्या होने वाला है.
Trading blow for blow here.
भाई Mind Freak ने इधर 3 को फेल दिया. ये दिखाना मेरे को देखना था.
Hookah.
Let's go.
Purchase will come back for Carmine Core. Showstopper to work with. One away from the pit, 2 off the Seekers, so some tools potentially here. Can they keep map 1 alive?
This patient start.
ये slow खेलेगा क्या ये round?
Because we have seen that Paperx will run, 3 men down, down B long, but we are seeing Monnier this time actually pushing up towards A short, holding that judge. How long does he stick around? I think he's siding against committing towards it. Divide.
इसमें भी delay निकाल दे. भाई delay ही नहीं, delay
the angle. Stuck around on that, deciding not to fall back. There are 2 players behind him. Forsaken being one.
Delay नहीं है bro.
And Mind Freak the other.
You see, almost trying to bait out a rotation, much the same as Paperx did. But the reaggressive from Hookah could be rewarded. They might even have time in here. KC have turned their backs.
This is a disaster in the making. They have no idea.
No, he's looking back.
Great turn, but it doesn't matter. The executioner's here. Mind Freak gonna make something out of it.
Push कर दिया.
But they have a player advantage for Carmine Core.
2 round पीछे में stream नहीं हो सकता.
Delay
बाद में निकालेंगे. अगर होगा तो मैं देख लूँगा.
Going to be able to find an upgrade here. Something's got ahead of the smoke.
He's in, and he's got one. Martin's gone. He couldn't do any more, but he's bought enough time for at least one to close by. Get a rifle into his hands. One on sight, one towards
my God.
Monnier unleashing fury, but he couldn't find
Anti.
for another round. Barely alive, but they do it.
2 examples of that
ऊपर नहीं जाना था
energy.
यार.
Their downfall, a little overzealous. The approach from both Something and Monnier. Punished here. KC will find their 7th.
One enemy remaining standing.
Regardless, so they are both looking absolutely electric.
ऊपर पानी में डाल दिया. देख रहे हो कोच के रिएक्शन देख लो. क्यों तू ऊपर जा रहा है भाई?
Mini.
ऐसा बोलेगा कोच.
I do this.
तू भाई क्यों ऊपर जा रहा है?
I wish we could bring him out to these events. You know what I mean?
Just still get him on a
2 दिन का खाना खाता हूँ.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think that's just called a watch party, but still. He's not figured that one out yet, which is great.
Save round है क्या पता ये भी जीत जाए तो.
As it stands though, Paperx still on the very verge of tipping the scales. This round though, they are coming in less equipped. They do have still
less equipped बोलते guys. Save नहीं बोलते less equipped.
As well. Showstopper potentially if one finds a kill.
You've almost got the full deck of ults on the other side.
Full info लेने की कोशिश करी जा रही है यहाँ पे कुत्ता भेज के.
There's a full play stack. Here. Now, traditionally, we've seen a couple of variations, but it's mostly Divide playing towards long, so maybe just him showing his hands isn't going to give away too much. That, however, should ring a couple alarm bells, maybe hoping to catch him a little further up towards long, but Carmine Core patiently waiting.
The dog, not sure how many it would have spotted there. Seekers in response here from Magnum. everybody huddled towards this position. Smoke's about to drop here. Monye caught in the open.
इसके बाद देख लूंगा मैं डिले तो कर.
Still
traded.
Bit of damage here, and Device still around. Wait for something though. He is the final
3v4
boss.
है, 3v4.
comes in. Yeah, nice work from Carmine Core.
Tonga जी बहुत low है.
Something is trying to hunt them at a
50
similar
HP.
pace. He is getting to spawn.
47.
Get around the back of Shin here, depending on the timing. But still, they're going to get the plant. I don't think anyone's close enough to stop that now. So that's going to go down. But the back line, who wins this out?
I think it's going to catch in here. Orbital strike committed.
Divine goes down. Mindfreak did get the trade, but look at this. Something now getting closer. We're down to 2 on either side. Mindfreak still under that Sheriff, but it might be enough. Martin waiting in showers. He's going to take down Mindfreak. It's all on one. Something. And he makes something out of this. An incredibly hard round to try and break back into now with these positions.
Turn back into the flash. No swing from Martin.
दोनों पिक लेके साथ.
Double swing.
Obviously.
Lovely work there in the post plant from Carmine Core. They're keeping this game close, Mike. They're building back now.
Spring in their step. 4 rounds still separate them. Frugal from both sides here in terms of investment of ultimates. Surprised to see the orbital strike come out there. PaperX must have felt pretty good about things.
Yeah.
Alex not so much.
भाई इसका coach भाई Alex. Hello.
But ultimate's still available. Seekers and the Showstopper being the headliners for PaperX. Still got that pit for Tamazi.
नहीं तो समझ में आ गया. PaperX क्यों aggressive team है? क्योंकि उनका coach भी aggressive है, समझ रहे हो?
Let's see.
Aggressive plus aggressive.
He's blocking him. Just spotted him out there. How much can he get away with though? Can he slip through towards CT? But all eyes on him. But it's Narrate from up above. Taking down Forsaken and something. Sights now on Martin. Not going to be able to convert that kill, however. And they're getting quite paranoid at the flank. They're going to pop the ult as well on top of it. Viper's pit to try and secure this. Monye with the first man forward, but Narrate with the spray just connects well.
ये round गया bro. ये round
this
गया.
might be enough.
A Showstopper gone. PaperX's opportunities now dwindling. You can see that. Now to consider the save here. So well coordinated. The value amongst these two, Narrate and Martin, to relay this information.
Save कर लो, मैं बोल रहा हूँ save कर लो. Mindfreak save कर लो.
Euro execute that PaperX famed this sort of composition.
D4 save कर लो. चलो save कर लो.
Their own medicine here.
Save कर लो. Next round खेलना है. Next round
much
खेलना
of
है.
a purchase after this. But 2 rifles nonetheless.
हल्लू comeback कर लिया है इन लोगों ने.
Carry across into the next.
ये क्या मारा? ये क्या मारा?
Good to see this man starting to really heat up here. His first half was, fine, but this.
कल से वेंडल बंद. Phantom चालू.
Just 1 kill behind Monye, who's on 19. So
PRX का आता हुआ.
starting to feel out the game a little bit, but again, it's just so dangerous when you're up against 12 and you're up against PaperX. There is that chance they just bring out a mad round that you can't handle. So they've decided it's time for a little bit of a break, a moment to consider. PaperX pumping the brakes here themselves. And to check back in. 3 in a row for Carmine Core to get them to these 9 rounds after what was a very hard first half.
I mean, every team should be having nightmares about a PaperX timeout with what happened yesterday. How quickly things turned around after calling a timeout.
True.
Timeout है भाई, timeout है.
Carmine Core have built their way back into this map. Another buy round and a chance to tie things up. Force the overtime. And not many tools at their disposal now. They're previously pretty frugal in terms of the investment, but a saving grace here that PaperX will only bring in 2 rifles, a couple of sheriffs, and a stinger, a Showstopper. Definitely a concern.
PaperX. Guys, ये मैच के बाद मैं जा रहा हूँ, okay? क्योंकि मेरे को हल्का सा काम है. वो काम करके फिर मैं फिर तो PaperX का कोच एक आज मेरे को भी ऐसा ही लग रहा है कि अगर कैसे जीत गए ना तो एक आध का मर्डर कर देगा. मेरे को मोनियट लग रहा है, मोनियट का मर्डर कर देगा वो फिर. एक आध का तो मार ही देगा वो मर्डर, मेरे को लग ही रहा है. जिंक्स भी देख रहे हैं, पता है? ये रहा जिंक्स. अपन इधर देखते हैं जिंक्स का देखते हैं.
Still happy to let the clock tick away. So they might pivot back towards an A site hit here. A deep smoke from Mindfreak, potentially slowing things down. Nothing going to be found off the showstopper except for information. KC now dial up the pace towards A.
They've got to get moving and they've got to clear. Done by Narrate. That's a tick in the box now.
Pal
Can they
Gopal
take
de
towards
diya
side?
gaya.
Mindfreak is waiting. Quick little heal. Going to get them topped up here. Flank is on the way, but that's going to be watched. Shin is on flank duty. He's got to catch Monye. CT has the rest of the team coming back through. He clears Mindfreak. And now Divide. Something.
Slow खेल रहा है, slow खेल रहा है, slow खेल रहा है. कोच ने बोला, कोच ने बोला.
Spotted. He's going to be able to. Did he just get seen on the other side?
Yeah, he got seen on the other side.
Okay, so still, that's threat noted.
अरे यार, मोनेट को पेलेगा पीछे से वो.
Done.
आगे से
Ton of
खेल
attention because look who's on the side. Device now here.
ये round
Tomasi
गया.
handles it well. Something can do nothing about this. Too many bodies, too little time. Carmine Core.
अरे वॉल्यूम मार दिया.
Double digits made.
गन दिख गई क्या उसको?
Maybe OT is now on the horizon.
Expected spray.
Win out this buy round here. I mean, especially with the showstopper being invested.
यहाँ पे गलत मर गई 4
Paper X
सेकंड.
just
माइंड पे गलत मेरा. फिर ये भी गलत मारा. और उसको तो बेचारे को गलत ही मार दिया यार.
Yeah, it'll be tough.
कमबैक हो रहा डेंजरस. वही.
KC access to overtime.
कमबैक है इन लोगों का. भाई ये लोग जीत गए तो वो तेरी बात सही है बे. वो मार देगा मेरे को लग रहा है. एक आध को तो मार ही देगा वो.
The TP from Shin. Well, the TP from Shin's going to get right behind this.
Full push.
No! Tomasi Martin! Get caught on the cross!
W.
That could be it. That spike is in a disastrous place. Shin doesn't get noted by the flash, but they're so aware. Monye sweeps back through.
चलो कैसे?
It's just one of those rounds where Paper X decide to walk on you. Round 23, by the way. That's just ridiculous. You let your foot off the gas for a minute.
A second. You thought maybe, we could just cross up towards Hugo. No, you absolutely couldn't.
You absolutely couldn't.
That might be the start and the end of this map. That spike being lost there.
Spike पड़े हुए हैं यहाँ पे बहुत बेहतरीन
I mean,
तरीके से
I love
आगे
the way the Paper X have just disengaged from this as well. So they know KC have
चलो
so
info
many
मिल गई कि
question marks
वहीं
here,
पे
they have to shift
एक लॉन्ग है एक
around
वहाँ
the
पे
entirety
स्पाइक
of the
लिया
map.
इजी
Now with the
इन्फो
spike, 40 seconds left and limited options.
It looks like Narrate be a problem. Whole rotation.
Time ticking 34 seconds, 32, 32, 31, 30, 30.
And a slow rotation coming his way from Monye as well, so he's in a real
Plant ही
pickle
नहीं
here.
कर पाएगा यहाँ
Forsaken
4
has the
सेकंड है.
angle, and he's got the shot. Spike
Let's
now
shut the
left. It's all
door.
on one. Narrate, can you do anything? Monye
ए
is
मोनेट
getting
ब्रो हेलो.
audacious, but Paper
मोनेट भाई
X
कुछ भी मार रहा है.
get to
कुछ भी
13.
ऐसे क्लासिक की तरह खेल रहा है भाई.
One.
Great resilience shown here from Carmine Court. It's tough to ever have to mount a comeback versus a team like Paper X, where every round feels demoralizing.
Very good, very good. GG हो
Feels
गया.
if you're just getting out-fragged, basically.
Yeah, this is a wake-up call. Welcome to the big leagues, Carmine Court. 10 rounds was good.
फिर भी कैसे उन्होंने कमबैक किया था. कमबैक था. कमबैक तो था. मेरे को देखने दो क्या वो है क्या?
Excuse me, would you mind taking a picture of us?
Oh, no problem.
Thanks.
Ooh, yes, problem. You need Verizon. Trade in that old thing and get a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage, so you can take all the pics. So many selfies.
A preposterous amount of panos!
That means panoramic. And as many portraits of me as your heart desires.
How about none?
None, yeah, none feels right.
Trade in any iPhone in any condition and get iPhone 15 Pro and iPad and Apple Watch SE all on us. Only on
मेरे को
Verizon.
कुछ नहीं दिख रहा ब्रो. मेरे को कुछ नहीं दिख रहा. ऐसा कुछ है ही नहीं. और मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ गाइस, मेरे को हल्का सा एक टॉपिक पे थोड़ा सा रिसर्च करना है. ओके. तो मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ, मेरे को हल्का सा एक टॉपिक पे रिसर्च करना है. तो मैं जा रहा हूँ. ओके. बट आप लोग देख लेना. ओके. क्या हो रहा है क्या नहीं. तो मैं वो टॉपिक पे हल्का रिसर्च कर लूँ और फिर मैं जाऊंगा. ओके. समझ रहे हो. तो कल मेरे को ऑफिस भी जाना है, इसलिए आज के लिए बस इतना ही रखते हैं. पेपर एक्स जीजी गेम बहुत मस्त खेला. डेंजर. बाकी के 1 या 2 मैच जो भी होते हैं वो अपने हिसाब से देख लेंगे. ओके. ठीक है. समझ गए कि नहीं समझ गए? समझ रहे हो ना? ओके, तो बस मिलते हैं कल। ओके, तब तक के लिए बाय 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 बाय, गुड नाइट गुड नाइट गुड नाइट, टेक केयर टेक केयर टेक केयर टेक केयर। भाई इतनी इको क्यों हो रही है? मैं वादियों में पैदा हुआ। ठीक ठीक, बाय बाय।